Dale Not Dale Podcast.
What's up, fellas and fella dads? This episode is brought to you by our new podcast sponsor,
Pretty Boy. Seasonal depression kicking you in the gonads?
Yay!
Forget the midlife crisis convertible. We've got something way cooler for you.
Pretty Boy
is here to help you reclaim your youth and relevance, earning you a spot back at the cool kids table this holiday season. Let's face it, we washed-up dads try hard to stay on trend, but father time doesn't spare anyone, especially for our money makers.
You know, after a relentless skincare search for me and my wife, Crystal, we found
Pretty Boy. And here's why we love them. Forget complex routines. Pretty Boy's moisturizer is a one-step hydration and anti-aging powerhouse. It's the first time 2 pumps a day will impress your loved ones. It works for everyone. Gentle yet high-performing ingredients make it perfect for any skin type, even the most sensitive ones. They practice what they preach. Pretty Boy is battle-tested after beating out some of the biggest names in the space in blind dermatologist review of their ingredients after securing the distinction as the first male-focused brand to earn the seal of acceptance by the National Eczema Association. No more walking around with a greasy, heavy mask. Revival is so lightweight that you'll forget it's there. The cherry on top is their gel cream, which provides a cooling and energizing effect to your dome piece.
It's not just skincare, it's a lifestyle. Pretty Boy is all about getting 1% better every day, letting their actions speak louder than words, and keeping you on path to a healthier, more confident approach to life. So upgrade to the 21st century and invest in your face. Don't look like your grandpa before your first kid. Don't do it, Vaughn.
I won't.
Old bastard. Visit Pretty Boy now. Your face will thank you. Trust us. You'll thank us too. Cheers to looking cool and feeling fresh. Pretty Boy. Helping cool dads age gracefully. Use our code DNDPOD15 for 15% off your order at yoprettyboy.com.
Yes.
Uncle Dale and Vaughn with stories to unfold. So sit back, relax, and behold. We discussing life and all its ups and downs. Tune in from your side of town. Talking pop cultures, movies, and TV shows. Giving the thoughts and much more. This shit is style, clothes, and gadgets galore. Keeping you entertained, you'll be begging for more. Cause we gon' laugh and hey, maybe even crying. But one thing's for sure, you'll be smiling. Cause Uncle Dale and Vaughn are at your side. So come along, join, and let's ride.
They bring the heat, and the guests are supreme. They ain't just a duo.
Okay, you can sing.
You rolling, Magnus?
I don't know why that was my go-to
just filling
song.
out job applications because we're off the air after this one.
All right. We are recording.
You ruined it.
You
ruined it for everybody.
None of what we just talked about is going to make
As
the
you
air.
can see, or you can't see, we have a special guest with us today, Miss Stacy Snyder from season 5 of Love is Blind.
It truly is.
Miss Credit Score Checker herself.
I wouldn't say that. I would not say that. I don't know why that's my reputation. I never asked that question.
Isn't that crazy?
Reality TV is crazy.
Straight, I know.
So you never asked?
No.
Okay. That was just kind of made up?
No, he told me because he thought it was a big deal.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
okay.
obviously, you know, we've had Izzy on the show.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
So, but yeah, so we've been talking, so I'm glad you came in, and I have some other friends that are like, oh man, it'd be good to see. We haven't had a lot of females on the show besides like my wife or my sister-in-laws, so.
You got to get that female power going in here.
We do.
I got you.
And we've had some great conversations prior to this, guys. I'm sorry you didn't catch it, but it's we've learned a lot about each other.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Too much, baby.
I'm just all out there.
Yeah.
Same.
Why hide?
Yeah. Yeah, Stacy probably learned a lot more about Vaughn than she really wanted to learn today, but, you know, it's part of it.
She asked questions. I just gave the answers.
Maybe I should have asked. It all started with the one comment about your heart.
Yes.
You have a big heart.
It did. I do have a big heart, for sure. Yeah.
So, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
This is my first time doing in person, and I've watched the show, so I'm
There you go.
a little starstruck from Uncle Doofus.
Dude, I know, huh? I'm a big deal.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even know he was in the show. I didn't even know he was in the show. I mean, I've seen the show, but only whenever I'm in it.
I should have brought Hazel.
I know. Oh my God. I was like, are they going to have a surprise guest with one of the twins? I love them. I'm obsessed. It's actually kind of scary.
It's so funny.
Everybody always wants us to get the Quints on here.
I
Like,
know.
they're like, why don't you get them?
I mean,
I'm one of 3 girls, so when that show first came out, I was like, I thought my dad had it bad. But I had to watch because I'm like, I can't even imagine. I cannot imagine that many girls in one household.
I've got one daughter, and it's a lot. And she's 13, so you can imagine I'm really
Oh
going.
God, you're
I'm-
going through the
I'm getting
worst part right
I'm getting
now.
the start of it.
The sassy.
Yeah,
attitude.
she's not bad with me. Like with my wife, oh, dude,
That's how I was with my mom.
they go at it.
Yeah, we were close, but it's like they try to tell you to do something. It's like, I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah,
I know
no.
better.
Yeah, I'm about to really go through a couple years. He's got a 13-year-old boy, so it's
Okay.
easier now.
He's easy. Yeah. He's a good kid.
Yeah, boys are easier than girls.
Magnus has got 6 kids.
He does.
Oh God, let's say a prayer.
Yeah, no kid.
6 kids.
Under the age of what?
11 and under.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to put this into perspective here. His wife was pregnant for, what was it?
All eternity.
Long time.
It's like,
We had a pair of twins, so yeah.
Oh wow.
so she was pregnant for about 8 years straight. Does that make
That's what
sense?
It feels like. Yeah.
Oh God.
He's like,
Yeah.
it feels like
I mean,
it felt like 20.
Yeah.
the math works out.
It's a long time.
That's a lot.
Oh yeah.
Poor
I cannot
thing.
imagine.
So we know how Izzy got on the show. So how did you get approached for the show?
It was on Instagram.
Yeah.
And how I think it happened is most of the people that do the recruiting will say, I think they're on dating apps so that they can easily see who is single without having to put out an application for a TV show.
Right.
And I think they reached out to a couple of my girlfriends, and I was in their pictures on Instagram, so they reached out to me. And then
Okay.
it kind of like went from there. But I hadn't seen the show before. I actually don't watch a ton of TV. So it was around Christmas of 2021, I think, is
Yeah.
when they reached out. So we were chatting, and then they were like, watch this episode of this first season, because at that time the first season was the only one that was out.
Yeah.
So I was watching, and I honestly was like, this is not real. This is not real, right? And they're like, no, this is actually how it happens, and they're actually getting engaged. And my mind was just blown out of curiosity. So then I'm like, let's see. Let's see.
Yeah.
Why not? I had no idea what I was getting myself into. No.
I don't know how I could. I don't know what I would do with that.
I mean,
I would do it for the experience, I think.
I think that's how I went into it, is I'm single and I'm dating, and there's nothing that could honestly be worse.
what was your dating life before that? Vonnie.
Let me guess, you want to ham it up?
Dude, how'd you know?
I knew you were going to say that.
Hey, Good Ranchers this holiday season is back and better than ever. So if you missed it at Thanksgiving, they did these 10-pound spiral hams, and they were to die for. Tons of 5-star reviews. And so right now, if you missed it then, guess what?
I bet you can get it again.
Yeah, back for Christmas.
I love that.
So use our code DNDPOD when you go to goodrancher.com, and what that does, in your order, you get a 10-pound ham for free.
That's like a $99 value.
Yeah, $99 value. I don't know how they do it.
I still want to know who does the math over at Good Ranchers.
Yeah, it doesn't add up, but these guys are just generous.
Well, I guess so.
They like giving the gift of meat, and you should too this holiday season.
Absolutely. I really love hams.
Dude, you ever had green eggs and ham?
I have not had green eggs and ham.
This year we're going to do it. I'm going to tell Ben to send us a ham, and we're going to do it.
What? How do you make green eggs? Food coloring?
Yeah, food coloring.
Oh, okay. I mean, can we just have yellow eggs and ham?
No, it's got to be green.
I don't know.
They wrote a whole book about it.
I don't know. I just say go to goodranchers.com and use our code DNDPOD for a $99 ham
Yeah, for free.
for free.
10 pound.
10 pounds.
So apparently, there's a ton of 5-star reviews, and people are going crazy over them. So Good Ranch is like, you know what? We did this Thanksgiving. We're going to do it again for Christmas.
When in
We're
doubt,
going to keep the giving season going with giving hams.
and you got to ham it up.
Dude, who doesn't want a $99 ham? I've never bought a ham for $99, but I still wouldn't, because I get it for free.
Move over, honey baked ham. Good Ranchers is in your place.
That's it. So, hey, goodranch.com, use our code DNDPOD, get you a free 10-pound ham value of $99 from Good Ranchers. So make sure to take advantage of that and give the gift of meat to your friends and family.
I feel like that was really hammy.
I'd been dating on and off. I'd go through spells where I was dating and going on a few dates a week, and then if it wasn't panning out, I'd just get off the apps and travel or just focus on myself, because you get tired of it. You get burnt out and you feel like you're just wasting your time with people you don't care about. Taking breaks from it. And then that's kind of when it rolled around, was when I was on like one of those breaks. So then it was like, okay, if I'm going to do it, let's try a completely different route. And I knew in my head, I was 100% sure I would not meet anybody. So, plot twist.
Yeah. So did any of your friends make it? So if you had friends hit up?
I didn't tell any of my friends.
Okay.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like you said, your friends got approached about the show too, right?
Yeah, they told me about it, but I didn't tell them when they reached out to me because they were making fun of it.
Okay.
They were like, this fucking show.
Yeah.
And I was like...
I'm in.
Hey, I'm in.
I'm super single. Like, I have no shame. And I was like, yeah. And then in my head, I'm like, I won't get cast. Like, what are the odds? Because I figured there'd be a lot of people that were going after it. So I didn't say anything, and no one knew. I was just like missing for weeks when I went because I didn't have my phone and stuff. My family knew, obviously, but
I mean, I guess they can't force you to get married to somebody, right? I mean, so it's not like.
Well, yeah, no, it's all up to you.
Yeah, exactly. So I think if I was single and that came across, I would do it for the experience for sure.
Yeah.
And then I would just say no. Actually,
I mean,
I would be the one asking, I guess.
Unless you found somebody. I mean, it's one of those things. You went in skeptical.
Yeah.
And you left skeptical.
I left very different than I went into the whole thing, but you would never understand it unless you went through something similar to it.
Yeah.
Like, to be quite honest, because can you imagine being 2 weeks into something where you don't have a phone, you don't have a computer, you can't watch TV, and all that's happening in your life are these pod dates?
Yeah.
So you get to a certain extent, you're bored, you're lonely. You're going into these dates like hoping you're talking to someone that you're not bored with. There were times where I didn't have an emotional connection with him, but I was like, oh, this guy at least is fun. We just like crack jokes so that you're not just stuck in the lounge doing nothing.
Right.
Because the alternative is going back to your hotel and doing nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very different. The emotional connections happen in a very different way than in the real world.
Yeah.
And you have no one to bounce anything off of either.
It's like a little science experiment.
It is. That's why they call it an experiment.
Yeah. I mean,
it definitely
really
was.
is.
I know. I didn't watch the show prior to.
Oh, really?
No. How that came about, I have a friend that's friends with Izzy, mutual friend.
Okay.
He texted me one day out of the blue, hey, do you want Izzy from Love is Blind, your podcast? I'm like, sure. I don't know who that is. Like, so I Googled it, and like literally 5 minutes later, I get a FaceTime call from Izzy. Hey, man, I was at a wedding.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah.
So you're just talking to him and you have no idea who he is?
No, he FaceTimed me, like they were together at the bar. And so he FaceTimed me from my buddy Colton's phone. And we're talking. He's like, yeah. And then we spoke back and forth. Yeah. So then from then I got his number. We were texting, trying to figure something out.
That's so funny.
And then, yeah, that's kind of how it all happened. And then around that same time, so I started watching the show. Mm-hmm. And I seen all you guys on there. So I started following some of you guys. That's when I started following you.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, but it was all... I liked it. I really enjoyed the show. I was like, it's a pretty good show. Like, I like reality TV shows.
Yeah, it's just an interesting concept. I remember hearing about it from my aunt, who's a psychologist, like maybe a year before I had gotten approached. And when she said it, I was like, these people are fucking crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Or they're desperate. Who would do something like that? That's insane. But it was big because it was during COVID.
Right.
Where it's like...
So that's how that was born.
The parallel... Well...
Was it from that?
I don't know if when it was filmed, I think COVID was happening when it was filmed. I know season 2 for sure had issues as far as like they were in Mexico and it was like masks. You're limited to when you can like go out and stuff. But I think when the first show was airing is when all of us were, it was in COVID where it's like, that's relatable because dating at that time, I remember going out with guys to the park because no restaurants were open and stuff. So you're watching people do it through the pods where it's somewhat relatable. Like, is this our new way of life? Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember her talking about it and I was like, losers. Who would do that?
Yeah,
They
seriously.
can't get a date in the real world, and then I'm like, I'm Stacy, I'm 33.
I'm season 5.
Season 5. Yeah.
Oh,
How
man.
weird was that? Like rolling up. I guess you guys go up and you like. I mean, did you know any of these girls prior? It seemed they're from Houston.
No, I thought I would know someone. None of the girls, when I first saw them, looked familiar. There was one girl that when we were chatting, we realized we had a ton of mutual friends and had been at the same party like months prior. But other than that, no. I mean, tons of different age ranges, backgrounds, careers. So, nope. Didn't know any of them.
Yeah, it was crazy how they only spotlighted a handful of y'all though.
Yeah, but I think that's pretty typical.
That's what they
from
do.
Season to season because there's so many people and there's only so many cameras that they can.
I guess there's so many.
like,
so many
storylines.
They gravitate to certain personalities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the more outgoing ones probably get the most. The more dramatic ones get the most
That
coverage.
and like if you're in a love triangle, like
Yes.
If you wanna make
you,
it,
Izzy and Johnny.
Boy, I
get
hate
into a love
those.
triangle.
So
yeah.
was there any other guys you were interested in?
Yeah, I had tons.
Tons. Dude, I love it.
No. I don't know if you talked to Izzy about it, but it's like you kind of narrow it down. You start dating everyone, which is 15 people. They
Yep.
slowly narrow it down
Like
day
speed
by
dating them
day.
together.
Yeah. So at the end, once you're at like 5 people, there are pretty serious relationships with all 5 because you're spending a lot of time together.
Okay.
And me and Izzy both were like not that about each other in the beginning. And
Yeah.
then it was just like as soon as people started getting weeded out, we're like, oh, we have things in common. Oh, I really like this person. I'm looking forward to talking to this person. It was just like a slow burn. The
Yeah.
unexpected thing was kind of how our thing played out.
I could. That would be so. There'd be so much pressure. I feel. Like, did you feel pressured? Like, I've got to make this work.
I didn't. No, I didn't. But I've never felt pressure because I'm very much like, if I end up on my own, I'm on my own. That's
But
why
it wasn't a game show like where you had to win something either. It was like
no, but
either,
there's some people that you're watching on that
they're
show that you
playing
would
like-
think.
Yeah.
Because it did seem like that with certain people where it's like, if I don't end up with this person, I need to find someone else. Like musical chairs.
Yeah.
For me, I told Izzy, I was like, if it's not me, that's okay. I will be okay. I'll be hurt. But I don't want you to choose me based on anything other than who you want to be with. And if you want to be with someone else, be with someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How awkward was that when y'all first saw each other?
Oh, the reveal?
Yeah.
I was okay. I was excited. He was really nervous and really awkward.
He was bigger then, right?
Yeah.
When I met him, I said, dude, he's thin.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing coming out was pretty stressful. I think a lot of people dropped weight just from stress. And
Yeah, like he just looked like a little beefier. And then when
No,
I
he
met him, I was
was.
like, man, he's
Yeah, no, he was definitely like bigger then. But it was, I don't want to say it was awkward, but I just could sense his nerves. So when you go from the pods where you're like talking and it's all energy because you can't see each other,
Yeah.
to like that moment where all the stakes are so high and you're nervous. He was shaking, physically shaking. I could hear his heartbeat. Like when I hugged him, it was just
holy
like,
cow. Well, I mean, JP and the other, your friend, what's her name?
Taylor, yeah.
Theirs was the most awkward.
it was the most awkward. It was the most awkward for sure.
That
I felt
was-
bad for her. I was like,
I felt awkward watching it.
your face was probably like this.
Yeah, I was like, oh, man.
It's cringy.
You know, when you want to step in and like make people comfortable. I
Yeah.
felt that the whole time of that.
It was definitely, that was a weird relationship. Too.
My heart would have been pounding. Doesn't matter if it was a good-looking person or I would have been nervous as hell.
Yeah.
Did you have an idea what he was going to look like?
The only thing that I thought was that he was bald.
You thought that?
Yeah.
Did he say something that...
He was like making jokes, insinuating things about hair, and I'm like, I can't imagine someone with a full head of hair.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's like he has a full, crazy, beautiful head of hair, or he is bald from all of the things where, like, if I was talking about my hair, he
Yeah.
could make a comment. That's all I could think. And then I thought he had facial hair. I knew he was Mexican. So all I was thinking is like darker skin, darker hair if he has hair, darker eyes. But even when you think that, if you're imagining a girl with blonde hair and brown eyes, that could be a million different things.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's nothing that'll prepare you for something like that. You don't even see anything. The first few seconds, it's like after a flash goes off with a camera and you're like, that's what it's like. And you're just looking at him like,
Here we are.
yeah.
We're getting married.
It's us. You and I.
Getting married. Oh God, what did we do? What have we done?
Oh, I'm getting nervous. Just thinking about it.
Me too. Me too.
I don't know how I would act. No, that's
How were
funny.
those? How were the dates? Was it just weird? Like, or it was
The
kind of cool?
dates were fun. The dates were fun. They had like different themed dates. Like me and Izzy had a spa date. There was another one where we played games. They had like a mini basketball court and like putt-putt.
Yeah.
There were ones where they had question games where you'd like pull something from the deck and talk about it. And the dates were up to 4 or 5 hours,
Go.
which sounds like a lot. And when they told us that going into it,
You're like,
I'm going to be bored after an hour. What am I going to talk to this person about? But then when they'll say something like there's an hour warning or like the date's going to be up in 30 minutes.
you're like, oh crap.
Yeah, the time
flew
does
by.
fly. Yeah.
Especially if you're constantly entertained while doing the dates. I mean, it's a lot different, right?
Some weren't entertaining, but with Izzy, we were fine. Some we would like walk out and be like, bye. Like we know we have nothing to talk about, or they would just take a nap or, yeah.
Did it change your dating since then? Like, were you big on? I mean, looks is an important thing. I mean, it is. Has
Yeah.
it changed your dating after the show? Like for how you
Looks weren't ever that big of a thing for me.
yeah.
Mine has always been charisma. And I didn't realize that until like, I don't know, a few relationships into my 20s where I couldn't put my finger on why things weren't working out and had nothing to do with looks or career. It's more of like, do you know who you are?
Yeah.
Are you confident in who you are? It doesn't matter what you look like, because I've had relationships where there's guys that are good looking but they're insecure,
There's nothing
and
there.
then you're dealing with control issues, jealousy, and it's
Yeah.
horrible, and
That's the
it'll
worst.
tear both of you down. So once you have someone that is secure with who they are and they know what they want, it doesn't matter. Like I would have that every day over someone that has looks.
Yeah, I'm more shallow.
Tell us more.
Yeah, I'm glad you're confident, but you're not, not attractive, so it's all right. Yeah, that's just not my thing.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but no.
I mean, I can't even relate because, like I said, me and my wife been together 22 years.
Congrats.
So it's
Good
like
for you.
I could imagine like the dating world. I got some buddies that recently went through a divorce, or like then you're talking with them, you're like, dude, it's wild.
Yeah.
Like the way it's just so different. I mean, I wouldn't even know because we were 19.
Yeah.
So it's a big.
And I think it's getting worse by the year.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Just because I think that,
Social media can't help anything with
No.
that kind of stuff.
and it's going in that direction though, with technology and everything being
Yeah.
so accessible. There's no way else for it to go than superficial.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or just taking people for granted in general. So, you know how everything's cyclical? Trends,
Yeah.
fashion,
Yeah.
oil and gas, everything. It is cyclical. And I am waiting for the time where dating goes back to like speed dating. Like you can't look people up on LinkedIn or
Right.
social media, like where it's just a different approach. And I've seen several dating apps where they have memberships for people, where they just seek people out and they don't allow anyone to see each other or know anything about them. And it's like meet and greets and stuff or
Right.
speed dating. But I just think that's the direction it needs to go to make that turn, because it just feels like it's going into we're all going to be single forever.
Yeah, no, it is. And you know, one thing, like, so I'm 39, so I can't say like I've got all this experience and stuff. One thing I've noticed about people lately is that are on the dating scene is it's actually stressful. I mean, it's not something, you can say, yeah, I had a good time with this person, but then, then you have to do that process of, do we go on a second date, or am I missing out on another person if they're coming in? Like, it
Yeah.
just seems so stressful.
Yeah.
And I think back in the day, if you look at old movies or talk to your parents or grandparents, it was more formal. It was like we got to know each other a little bit, and then we started, the whole courting process, the going on the dates, the opening the doors,
Yeah.
like the old school way of doing it. And I do think that personally, for me, this is an opinion, I think that way manifested better relationships than what you're going to get today.
I
there's no
totally
doubt.
agree.
No doubt. There's more more substance to the relationship too.
Yeah, well, there's also that thing of like, do you know if you'll ever see that person again? And if there's no internet and there's no Instagram and there's no LinkedIn, like you have no idea. Like you would have to give someone a business card at that point. Like, here's my number if you see someone you like or want to talk to again. But now it's like, oh, I can leave because I know they're friends with this person. I can look them up or ask them for this.
Yeah, the other way, it may have just been fate. You ran into them again.
Yeah.
And you're like,
so you take things more seriously.
Yeah.
That just doesn't exist. It can't re-exist either. So that's why I'm like, how do
Yeah, I don't
take that turn to like go back to old school values where you actually value the person, what they're saying, maybe not having all of their time or access to their time.
And as you said, hopefully that's cyclical.
Yeah.
But I just don't see.
I know.
I just don't
That's
see
the
it going back.
question, though.
yeah, I don't know. That's just
Someone needs to start a business doing that.
how do you reverse that? You know,
How do
I
you
haven't
reverse
done
time? How do you reverse technology? I don't know. I mean, I think like
the bad thing is there's so much. I mean, there's so much creeping and stalking goes on.
I know.
You can imagine. I mean, we
I
all
know.
do it. I mean, it's one of those things. It's just
we
there's so much access to stuff. Like I feel bad for my kids because
Yeah.
they're like there's so much access to it's scary, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I can say that I've said this a million times, but I don't have social media.
Oh, you don't?
I do not.
You have
no.
nothing?
I mean, we have a podcast Instagram.
he
but
uses
that's
the
it.
podcast Instagram.
But I don't. You know, I'm not. I do it for the podcast. It's not for anything else. And I think again, I'm not married, or I'm married, so I can't say that like it would be different. But I think if I was single at this moment in time, that I really. There's some of those old values would still be there because I'm not going to get on Facebook and stalk them and see who their friends are and all this other stuff. So I think it would be a little bit more
he would.
formal. I wouldn't though. I
I'll
wouldn't.
do it for you.
Sometimes you got to get the friend to do it for you. Man, I don't have Instagram. Can I use yours?
Especially LinkedIn because it'll show you who looked at your profile.
Okay, well, that's why you got to go
The premium.
on Google.
Oh yeah.
And then you just like can see it from afar.
Hey, she's telling all her
That's what
secrets.
it's not a secret. I'm just like helping you.
No, your secrets.
That's a
That's
creep.
how
No,
you
I
do
know.
it.
That's a little creeper.
That is how I did it. And I'm like, if you want to stalk someone and not be caught,
Yeah.
Google and be like LinkedIn Uncle Dale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll pop up with your picture and it'll have all the info. Just don't click it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you do?
No, I do. I want them to know.
I'm
I'm looking at you, kid.
I have a LinkedIn membership that's $40 a month, to where if I go click on somebody, it'll say someone in a
Are
LinkedIn.
you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
That's how bad you don't want people to know you're looking at them.
No, I do it strictly for work. Like if I need to go stalk somebody who's a
But if
competitor
it's for
of
work,
mine,
who cares if they see that you're looking?
because I don't want them to think
Because
that I
he's a
want them to
pervert.
come work for me. No, it's like salespeople. It's
Yeah.
like
he's
I know a
poaching
salesperson who works for a competitive industry, or a competitive.
Oh,
competitor,
okay, I see. I see.
And then I want to look at them. I kind of want to, kind of feel a little bit more, see their face.
I do
if
like to
somebody
see
dropped
their
name.
like when I look at sales reps for potentially hire for me.
You want to know what they look like?
No.
I wanna see
I
their
want to go
organization.
see if they've had 15 jobs in the last 2 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Or if
That's
they're-
more so I want to
but
look
I
at.
think that's fair to
That
look
is
at
that is
as
fair.
a potential
I'll look at it. I
employer.
don't care. But
He's like, I'm looking at my competitor. I wanted to know.
Hey, man.
And that makes sense. So that's okay.
You got,
Valid.
Hey, you got.
Yeah.
sex sells, baby.
Yeah. Hey.
Part of it.
They're
Then
all,
your LinkedIn profile say that.
dude, they're all dudes. Like all the ones
The
I've
Cam's a good looking
looking for.
dude. She just hired a dude that's like 6'10".
Cam, yeah, he's
Good-looking guy.
He was on a reality show.
Which
Which
one?
one?
It was I knew you'd ask me that.
Was it Love at First Sight?
No, it was like I don't. I
He's
have. I'd have to,
6'10".
no, he's 6'8".
He's a big dude.
he's tall.
I'm 6'2", and this guy's. I mean, I'd be like,
Huge. Okay.
He's yeah. He ended up marrying the girl that he. Actually, no. He ended up marrying somebody on another season. Like the
Of
season.
what,
they did
though?
like a reunion.
It is.
Pull it up.
It's gonna take me a second to pull it up.
I got it. I got his LinkedIn. I mean, his Instagram.
Does it?
What's his name? Cam.
Cam Bruckman. I can't say his last name. This poor guy.
Here it is.
Are You the One? On MTV.
What? I never heard of that.
I haven't either. Is it older?
Yeah, I think so.
What year was he on it?
One.
I don't.
And they get married?
Look it up. Magnus, look it up.
I've never watched it. I don't know.
Well, I haven't heard of it, but now I'm interested.
I mean, I would have watched it before I hired the guy. You know?
Yeah, what were you doing on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Yeah,
go
it's
to
been on the air
YouTube.
since 2014.
You know, that's enough about Cam.
Are you the one?
Are you the
Yeah.
one? Okay.
Yeah.
I've
So anyway,
never
he
heard-
ended up
He
marrying.
must have met a chick at one of the reunion shows.
No, so he was on it, and then he was off of it. I don't know what happened. I'd never seen it. But then the next season, his potential wife, she was on it, and she was talking about past seasons. She's like, "Oh yeah, you know, talking about Cam or whatever, right?" So Cam DMs her.
Well,
And that's how that worked out. He's
attaboy.
married to
Yeah.
her now.
Yeah.
Yes,
They got a
Yeah,
kid,
They
right?
are. Yeah, they just had a baby. They're doing really well.
See there?
Snaps for you.
There
He's
you go.
he's a great guy.
You got to shoot your shot.
You
He
did.
shot his shot, like
Yeah.
we were talking about old school.
Yep.
Look where it got him.
And I use LinkedIn to shoot my shot to get him
That
to
dude.
And
come
it worked
work
out.
with us.
Snaps for you too.
See,
He
There
shoots
you
a
go.
shot at dudes on LinkedIn.
Dude, hell
That's what I heard.
Hey.
Oh, I did have a guy reach out to me on LinkedIn once. I went on a date with him and he was awful.
Yeah.
It didn't work out.
What was
What
his name?
what'd he say?
You want to know for real?
Yeah.
Yes. Don't lie.
I mean, this was probably 3 years ago now. And then I thought, LinkedIn, a professional way to meet someone, like not as bad as a dating app. I went out with him on a couple of dates. He was good looking, but I don't know. The personality, like it just felt kind of like,
He didn't have charisma.
no. But it just felt like stiff. Have you ever had a conversation where you're like trying and you feel like you're being easygoing and it's like this? Like
Yeah, they're real
sticky.
rigid.
Yeah, rigid. He was very rigid. So then after the last date we had, I hadn't heard from him in like a couple of weeks. And then the next thing I heard, he's like, hey, can I bring dinner over to your place tonight? And he had never been inside of my place. I was like, that's creepy and a little aggressive. So I was like, no, if you want to meet up, like I'm down to meet you out. I don't know. After 2 dates, I'm like, no. And then he got offended by that. And he was like, what do you, like, he got offended. Like, oh, you think that I'm some sort of creep or like some sort of whatever. I'm like, no, I'm saying I'll meet you out. I'm not comfortable with that. And he was a complete asshole. So I just didn't respond. Well, then it was like maybe a week later, he sent me a text saying like, hey, I noticed that we haven't chatted after that last combo. And, you know, millionaires like me love to give to charity or something like that. And I was like,
Well, that was weird.
First of all,
it was something having to do with like a free meal and like I love to give a charity like I did for you with this meal or something. And I was like, what the F? And so I like, I had like a witty response that was pretty concise. And as soon as he sent it to me, he blocked me because when I tried to send it, it got like denied.
No way.
That's the guy from LinkedIn. And I was just like, that's why I did Love is Blind.
millionaires don't say stuff like that.
He did. I swear to God, I have it still saved.
Millionaires
I
don't say they're
have, like-
millionaires.
No,
I have like photos of all the worst responses, the worst pictures on dating apps.
We'll make
the
a
worst,
reel.
like-
We just post them all over.
Oh God, it's so bad, so bad. So like, I'm like, excuse me, like.
I can imagine it's tough being a female in the. You probably get some. I mean, I get some weird DMs sometimes. I can imagine what females would get.
There's some stuff, but the weirdest stuff is a lot about feet.
Feet's
Yeah.
a big deal. I'm not.
Is
I'm not
it?
into feet. I'm not into it.
Either I have really nice feet, or this is just the new thing.
Well, so
Dude, you can make a lot of money on Feet Finder.
you can.
We'll sign you up.
Yeah.
I'm down.
We got a code.
But we'll produce.
You
I mean,
do?
No,
we'll
I don't.
do.
I wish you did.
We'll
well,
do
I'll
all.
give you a cut if you set up my profile.
No, that's what we'll be your broker.
He's
Okay.
Yeah.
Magnus takes professional pictures.
Oh, do you?
Not,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
a feet. Nah, come on.
No, not a
Mine
feet.
are not offensive. Mine are gorgine.
I just think it's revolting to like glorify feet.
Oh my God.
It's
Well,
like-
mine are.
I got a weird.
You haven't seen mine.
I got a weird thing in my feet
Listen here.
Like
okay.
what?
Money.
Like you don't like them?
Never
Both.
seen-
Are
my-
they webbed?
No, both my big toes. I don't have toenails.
What happened?
Well, I had ingrown toenails when I growing up real
Okay.
bad, like all the time. So
He
like,
used to get nervous and
so,
bite him.
So no, no, I grew up freaking poor. You know, we not really poor, but I grew up. I'd have shoes too small, and I would have ingrown toenails, and so. Like by the time my sophomore year, I had it so many times. The doctor's like, "Dude, we're just gonna take them off." So they took them off. I was like, "Just cut the whole goddamn
I
toe
have
off."
never heard of that happening.
I, like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I seen
I,
it.
my
My
brother-in-law's got
uncle's,
like.
my uncle's missing a toenail, but that's because he caught it on the lawnmower.
No, dude, there's nothing there. Like
Yeah.
dead in the roots where it wouldn't grow back.
You-
Best decision of my life, but I mean, I don't wear flip flops.
in all,
I can't. Like,
he used to cut holes in all of his bedding and everything. Just those
For what?
those little razor toenails sticking out. They finally
dude.
took
You want
them
to
away.
let him
Dude, I
breathe?
tell you, the worst thing was when they do that surgery. They put a shot on each side and the tip of your toe, and it makes it like that big, and it hurts like
Wait.
a mother.
Oh God, I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Oh, how
Like-
old were you?
I mean, when I got it done, like all the way, I was like in 10th grade.
Oh my God, were you insecure about it?
Yeah. Or I
still
just, I
is.
So
did.
you never showed your feet?
I mean, I'll wear. It don't bother me now.
Yeah, but like then.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't.
Oh, Dale.
Hey,
Poor thing.
funny.
I bet you had really cute sneaks though. Yours are cute now.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't mind it. Like I never wear flip flops anyway. I just can't stand them.
I've never heard of that. I'm sorry you went through that.
I know.
Your poor little toe.
It made me stronger.
Hey, my big toes make me insecure.
What?
Why?
Dude, I got German feet.
I do too.
Well, German women might have better toes than German men. German men have the ugliest big toes in the entire world.
Show
Wow.
the camera.
Well, I'll show you it for $5.
Lucky for you, I got some money, honey.
Dude.
Have you not seen my season of the show? I love money.
Dude,
I have it on
she's
me at
a
all
money-
times.
Yeah.
Money hungry.
She walked out the gold digger.
Oh my
I'll give you
god!
10 for your toes.
No, I'll give you 2 toes for that.
Oh my God. Deal made.
So what kind of work do you do? So you work for your dad?
Yeah, I work in oil and gas. So he is a feedstocks broker. So I run all of the operations for his company.
Okay. And then what do you do? So you started your own thing, the
closet
closet
audit. Yeah. So
and you have the makeup
yeah.
audit.
So
You just audit everything.
what had happened?
Feet audit.
Next.
You
How'd
gotta,
you
you gotta
know?
capitalize.
I know, right? No, I used to be a stylist when I lived in Nashville, doing personal styling for fashion. I moved here for oil and gas. And then at a certain point, I had people asking me for help with closet organization, styling for events. I had people asking for makeup help. So it was all just kind of like side gig things. And then I just wanted to consolidate it into one thing. So I started my own business doing closet organization and styling, doing virtual styling, all of that. The makeup thing was very sporadic. I never was like, hey, I'm a makeup artist, hire me. It was more of like my friends are like, I love how you do your makeup. I have a client or I have my boss that has a holiday card they need makeup done for, whatever. So I started doing that. That is very much back burner side thing.
Yeah,
Is there good money in that?
it's a hobby.
Or it could be
So
if you.
before the show, I was like, if I have the time to do it, it was easy money. It was
Okay.
an hour out of my day, and it was very easy. I had all the stuff to do it. The closet audit is easier money for me, and I've been able to expand that
Okay.
more so, especially with the show and offering like virtual options. I guess from the show, people liked what I wore. So since the show, things
Yeah,
have
you always
blown
wear
up.
you always wear nice outfits. I see you.
Thank
I
you.
actually have that same outfit.
Oh my God, we should have matched.
Yeah, no, should have.
No, don't let him lie to you. We had the fashion show for my sister-in-law, and I wore a turtleneck. He was scared to wear a turtleneck.
Why?
Okay, I'm
He's
not.
lame.
So first of
Oh,
all, anything
no.
that comes out of his mouth is 9 times out of 10.
You're
a lie.
lying, motherfucker. We'll replay the.
Okay, I was not afraid to wear a turtleneck. I firmly believe that some people can pull it off and some people can't.
I can get down with that.
I am in touch knowing that I cannot pull off a turtleneck because that is not my
I
personality.
think that's totally fair.
and
doesn't matter.
And I think that my insecurity of wearing a turtleneck would shine through to everybody else.
Look, I even have my podcast chain on.
You look fly,
Dude.
Dale.
I feel like I was in Boys and
What
Men.
is this chain you're wearing now?
It says D&D, our podcast. I had it made. D&D pod.
Dale's very
literally dripping in ice.
Yes.
Dale's Dale is
I
very
love
urban.
the blazer though. I do love the blazer. You look very chic.
Dale's more urban than I am. I'm a little
Yeah,
more
he was-
conservative.
I think you should own your style, and if you're like turtleneck isn't it, then that's fine.
Thank you.
I got
But
you.
it would have fun. It was for the funny.
If it's for the funny and
That's
they're
what
like just put it on, whatever, go for it. But
That's
I
what
wasn't
said.
there to be funny. I was there to be
Well,
you're a model.
yeah.
Okay, then you need to wear what?
no,
Suits you.
we were MCs.
We're MCs.
Where was that?
A place called Water's Edge on NASA 1 over here in Webster.
Webster, Nassau Bay.
Yeah, Webster.
Wait, so it was for? Did you say your wife's thing?
No, Danielle's got her Grayson Boutique.
Okay.
Her index. So this is like her third year doing a fashion show, like a holiday fashion soiree thing.
And she has men's or no?
No, you can get some men's stuff there. We were emceeing it. I wore.
Okay, so
we
she
were
was
on-
like, you need to look like X.
No, I just
You just went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We wore whatever.
and I
You were trying to
emceed
throw him under the bus. Like I thought
We
it was
both-
like they wanted you to wear that.
No, I
you
said
wanted him to wear that.
yes. So we were just we emceed it last year. We did it again this year, and I was like, all right, this year I'm wearing a turtleneck.
Everybody's gonna remember me by the funny jokes that I told, and everybody's gonna remember Dale
By the turtleneck.
by the
And the chain. I
just
think the chain for sure.
the chain, the drip.
Dude,
Yeah. I liked it.
it was legit.
Hey,
It's very much on brand for
it's-
you.
I feel like I was
yin
like
and yang.
'90s hip hop group
Yes.
singer.
Yeah, I think so.
Andy
It's like
Dance.
Jodeci.
Jodeci.
Who?
Yeah, there's your age.
Jonas?
How old are you?
I'm 35.
Oh, okay.
See, if you'd had 4 more years, you'd have known about Jodeci.
Yeah, you missed that one.
Wait, for real?
Jodeci was like they were like right before I would say Boys to Men, right?
Yeah, that was early
I
'90s.
definitely know
91, yeah.
Boys to Men.
They were the one before that, I would say.
Them in like Belle Biv DeVoe's in that area.
Oh, okay.
So anyway,
Swing and a miss.
it's totally okay.
Oops.
It's all good. Hey,
You win some, you lose some.
we're gonna culture you.
Oh, please do.
We're gonna learn you up.
Oh.
Okay, so the show, Bam Bam, they send y'all off to Mexico. What's that like?
Oh, God.
Is that like the fantasy suite for bachelor?
No, I can't imagine
But
that
you're-
it is. Like, from what I know, I haven't watched a ton of The Bachelor or Bachelorette, but I think that that's just like one night.
It's just one night, yeah.
Yeah, so Mexico is like, that's the first time that you have to physically be in person. Take out the intimacy, but physically be around someone that you've never met.
Yeah.
There was a lot of downtime in the room between like excursions and getting out of the room to go like mingle at one of the group parties or whatever. So at first it was it felt very high school dance of like what's appropriate, what's not. And we're both grown adults and have done all the things, but it felt
It's just-
very,
yeah.
you feel very like innocent because
Yeah.
it's like you have only an emotional connection. You're engaged, yet we had
No physical touch.
nothing.
Yeah.
So it was just like slowly learning each other's comfort with each other.
Yeah,
Even when
yeah.
it comes to like sleeping together, like, do you snuggle? Do you not? Do you snore? Do you not? Do you want to be touched? Are you a hot sleeper?
Big spoon, little spoon.
Yeah, like, do you wake up early? Do you not? Like, all of that. So it was a big learning experience, but it was fun. That's probably the most fun that he and I had throughout the whole thing because we still didn't have our phones either.
Yeah.
So we had nothing except each other.
I mean, you definitely learn a lot about somebody if you forced to talk to.
Yeah.
we were supposed to hang out with him 24/7 for a few days.
It's crazy what happens when a phone doesn't get in between a relationship.
I know, but it was great. That was honestly, I think, the best part of the experience for both of us, that we got to put faces with the emotional connection. There still wasn't the outside world or opinions involved. So yeah, it was great.
How many text messages, missed calls, and voicemails did you get over that time?
Oh, I
Just
can
I
imagine.
don't,
give
I
or
don't
take.
know, but it was enough for me to just put the phone down. Like, it was just coming in, and
I
I just
couldn't imagine.
I put it back away because all I cared about was talking to my family. So I was just like, it kept coming through, so I was just giving it like 10 minutes to adjust. And then all I cared about was talking to my mom because that was the first time she knew I even met someone, let alone was engaged.
Right.
And for me, I was such a commitment phobe before the show that me going into it, they were like, there's no way.
Yeah.
The same mentality that I had. But when they saw me and him and like the connection that we had, they were like, oh my God, this is for real. This is for real. So that's all I cared about. The rest of it, I don't even think I responded to any of it that I got as far as emails, texts, and everything. Because it was overwhelming to think about how do I even start to explain this to
Yeah,
people.
really.
I would have done the same.
How long-
Just not reply.
Yeah.
How long were you gone for?
Oh,
Or was that a full? How
God.
long were you there for total?
I remember we flew out the day after Easter that year, and we didn't come back until early May. So it was at least 2 weeks, but it might have been closer to 3.
God, that's a lot of stuff in
I would
short amount of time.
I would love not to have my phone for 2 or 3
I
weeks.
loved it personally. Once you get used to it, it's great.
I mean, I'm sure it would be nice.
Would you ever do it?
No, I mean, for work, I could.
You always say that.
I could for work. I think for the personal side, I could do it.
Yeah.
It would be tough. But the work part, like I'm in the oil and gas, we're in the downstream side where we're a service company to
Yeah.
plants. So it's
You
like,
don't have anyone that if you're like, I'm out for 3 weeks, you have to handle this.
Or is it because you're a micromanager of your own customers?
No, it's not that. I'm the face of one of our customers, so
You don't have anybody to trust?
I would have but not to go see them. To handle calls, probably could.
Look, dude, you give me that phone for 2 weeks, I got you.
He couldn't handle it. He can't multitask.
Yeah.
I can multitask.
You say every day, and then today you're gonna change your mind.
I can't multitask.
Okay.
I like multitaskers don't get anything done.
I feel the same way.
I get a lot done.
I used to be a better multitasker, and now it's like you put so many things on your plate, 'cause you're like, I can do it all, and then you get nothing done. 'Cause there's too many things.
You
and get
scratch the
distracted.
surface on everything instead
Yeah.
of dig deep on one.
I'm the same way on that.
See, I'm not the only
Hey,
weird one.
what happened the first night in Mexico in y'all's bathroom?
I would love to tell you about that.
Okay.
We all know that the drainage in Mexico is not like here in the States.
Allegedly.
And Izzy always had this thing where, what did he say? It was like, shit, shower, shave. Shit, shower, shave. So he's like, if I'm going in there and the shower's running, you know what's happening. So he would always get his business done. So then when I went in, it was like, I get flush 3 and 4. So it wasn't flushing. And it wasn't because I had like IBS or something. He had gone and done his business so that even when I peed, it wouldn't flush.
Oh, sure.
Oh god.
Take a big old shit.
You know you logged up Mexico.
He started that log train, and then when I had to go, I proudly was like, hey, we need to call maintenance, and I'm happy to say it, but don't even act like that was all me.
You were the caboose.
That's
I
fine.
texted Marilyn and said, hey, Stacy's coming on tonight. Should I ask her anything? Because ask her about how she clogged the toilet in Mexico.
Oh my god. I know.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Was that on the show? I didn't see that part.
Yes.
They did talk about okay.
Yeah, because Izzy took such pride in it, and I'm like, you should be glad that they didn't show you like sharding your white tight jeans.
Oh.
Did he do that?
We were going to a party, and we had just gotten mic'd up, and he does this, literally like that motion, and just rips ass.
No.
And he's in these tight white jeans, and I knew he wasn't wearing underwear because of how tight these pants were. And I was like, you're brave. You are a brave soul. And he was like, yeah, baby. And I'm like,
I am appalled.
That's
are you?
funny.
That's very much him.
Okay. I
wish I'd known this before.
there is not a chance in hell that I would ever do that around anybody that I was dating for a couple weeks.
I was a little surprised. It was
Oh, you're
out of
appalled
him.
about you're appalled by that. They did it in front of her. Okay, I get that.
Yeah, I just, and it's not saying that once you get comfortable with each other you can't. I mean, I have,
No, I agree
so
with what you're saying.
where I'm at, there's a double standard. So I can fart and do everything I want to, but my wife's not allowed.
You're like every other man.
Yeah. Girls do that?
No,
Okay.
we don't even have buttholes.
Good answer.
No, your audience, people.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a two-way street with all of that, but I'll take the brunt. It's
Oh
fine.
my gosh.
Still got the plunger.
So y'all just logged up Mexico.
Oh God, I wasn't trying to be like aggressive about it. It was more like the cameras were there, and I'm like, what are we supposed to do? Like, the toilet's not working. And we didn't have room keys, mind you. So it's like, and I don't even think we had phones, like room phones.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to publicly announce, hey, this is clogged. Like, hey, we need bottled water, because you don't have any way to communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a great time for me.
So did they just send in maintenance and maintenance fixed it for
Absolutely.
you?
We went
Yeah.
for an excursion, came back, that thing
Like
was
third
squeaky
time
clean.
this week in this room.
Golly.
Well, stop feeding us the guacamole, okay?
Hey, so your dad, he became like a star of the show, huh?
In my opinion, yes. Dale
And we
is
got-
just
hey, we got the
like,
same name.
yeah, he's just got an aura about him. He's not a frill kind of a guy. He's very straight and to the point, and he hasn't really met that many men in my life.
Okay.
And he knows how I am, which is not, I'm kind of commitment phobe, but I'm definitely not bringing guys around just for fun.
Yeah.
So when it's a guy that he knows I've known for a couple of weeks and we're getting married in
Yeah.
a couple of weeks, I feel like he handled it pretty well. I was fully expecting
I heard you
whatever you
talk-
doing.
on the Caitlin Bristow, her podcast. Heard you talk about that. That you were surprised how well
Handled it.
you figured he would have been.
Yes.
Like,
I
what the
thought
F-
he
what
would
the fuck
have
you doing?
been very not about it, probably not as friendly as he was. Kind of like, you have to prove to me if you want anything to do
Yeah.
with me. And he leaned much more into it than I thought. And he was nice about it. And like, if you're happy, good. And I'm like, who are you?
This is set up.
Has he always has he been super protective over you as a
He just doesn't take men seriously, and me or my sister's lives, unless it's something monumental. Like my sister that's married and has 2 kids, she was with her husband, but when they were dating at the time, they'd been together at least 2 years. And then they moved in together.
Oh, okay.
And then I knew it was coming because he asked for a ring size. And at that point, I had a lunch with him where I'm like, yeah, he's going to propose. Like, he's asking for a ring size. And he's like, that guy? I'm like, Dad, they've been dating for 2 years, and he's great. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Love him to death. The best dad. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, he's still like that.
Yeah.
I'd be the same way if I had to pay for 3 weddings.
Golly. Are you the youngest or oldest or
I'm the
middle?
middle. And I think that's fair, but needless to say, with the show and the experience and the time frame, I was fully expecting him to be like, F you, don't care, have a nice life, not coming to the wedding.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. So
Your sister's like, well, I got screwed.
yeah. Yeah. No, he's my dad's a sweetie. It just takes a while to like see that side of him. And he
Yeah.
got to, so I'm glad that he got to and they got to bond. But yeah, not what I was expecting.
Well, it didn't work out, so
So maybe he was right.
yeah, maybe it was.
Did you leave anything in his lost and found drawer?
I never stayed at that apartment.
No, okay. Y'all stayed at a separate apartment, right? That's where they put y'all
Yeah.
in?
Yeah, but
We talked about that.
yeah, we had all of our dogs at that mutual.
All of
Yeah, I heard
our
you-
dogs? How many
I heard you
dogs
talk
is
about
this?
that too. The
Yeah,
dog you had.
I have one. He has 2 huskies.
His dogs were aggressive towards her little dog.
It was not great. So he moved his dogs back into his apartment that you see on the show.
Okay.
So they weren't there with us, and so then that kind of like changed the dynamic because he was having to like go to another place and
Yeah.
handle that while we were planning a wedding and living in a separate apartment. My house was under construction. There was a lot of things going on.
You had a nice place.
Thank you.
To show them there.
Thank you. Well, it was a disaster when you see it. It was literally, it went under demo when I went on the show. Because I was like, just demo it. I'll
Yeah.
come back. I'll figure it out. And then I hadn't seen my house until you see us tour my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, oh my God. And then I had a roommate move in. No one noticed this. But when I moved in, I had a roommate move in while I was gone, while my bathroom's getting demoed. So there was 2 couches. No one noticed that there's 2 sectionals in my living room because she moved everything in. So it was like a garage sale gone wrong in my house. And I'm like, oh my God. And then there's 2 cars. Everyone thinks they're both my cars. But I had someone living there.
Yeah. That's
What's a lot going on though? I'm sure. So you started to think about that.
Oh,
what
God.
what part of Houston is that in?
I'm in Montrose.
Montrose? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good area.
I love it. But
I
yeah.
got some good eats down there in Houston, man.
You can never,
Oh, yeah.
You can never calm down in Houston though.
But why would you want to?
I wouldn't want to either.
Age. Age will get you there.
I will always be in the city.
He's a pawpaw though.
To me, I think grandpa.
Grandpa.
No, you're not.
Call me what you want, but I'm at peace.
Okay. I love that for you. Love that for you.
But yeah, don't drive fast, okay?
Okay.
And wear your seatbelt.
I will.
Thank you.
That's hilarious. So what have y'all done? Like, is there going to be more?
With the show?
Yeah. Are you going to go on another show?
I hope not.
You can't talk about it?
I don't really know. I think that they've announced the next season of the show, and that's like the priority for the brand, and I'm excited to see that. But for me, I'm like, the only way I'd ever do another show is if it was about my dad, and I was just like the side thing, following my dad's life around. And I would
Maybe
happily
he could
just...
go on Golden Bachelor. Or is he single or is he married?
He is.
He's single?
And I think that he would love it, but I'm like, I don't know if he would be a good fit for that.
No.
Because he's so blunt.
He's so, yeah.
I think
black
he'd
and
make
white.
all. I
He's
think
like
he'd make all those girls cry. They'd hate him. So
I
he'd
mean,
be like, yes, we don't even need these ones.
Yeah.
Let's just go with these 4. Let's just go with these.
Look,
your first night, dude.
Y'all brought
Yeah.
me 50. I'm eliminating 46 right now.
He would absolutely do that.
I love that.
Yeah. And then later on, he'd be like, can we get number 7 back?
Yeah.
Number 4 isn't doing it for me.
Number 4 has daddy problems. Number 7 didn't have those.
Yeah, no. He's definitely a vibe, but that's probably the only thing I'd ever
So
do.
are you currently dating now?
I am.
You are?
Yes. I've been dating someone for about 8 months.
Okay. How long's the show? When did the show come out?
The show started coming out end of September.
So y'all were dating and then this come out. So that's got a lot to do with a relationship, right?
Well, I've been dating him, God, for 4 months.
But he knew about it. But when this all comes out, it's probably tough to watch, being that you're like,
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it with him, but I was surprised because he had watched most of it before I had. Because for most of the releases, I had people coming in town where it was like family, where they wanted to watch it with me. So I was waiting until they got in, but then my phone was blowing up from people that had watched the episodes, including him. He did not watch Mexico.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, thank God. Thank God.
I would have. That would have. I mean, of course, I don't think I'll ever be in that situation, obviously, but I think I would just laughed. Like, what, you know, what can a guy say? Like,
But it's fresh. If y'all were dating for 2 years and this came out, but y'all are pretty fresh dating.
But you did this before you were dating somebody, so I don't know. I would just be secure enough to think like, I mean, it is that was your past, as part of your life. I mean, hey, here it is. Let's laugh about it.
Yeah, and he was very supportive. But what's interesting is I had dated guys before him that I didn't tell them what show I did, but I was like, there's some stuff that's gonna happen, so I need you to know this is like what you're signing up for. And most of them had a problem with it.
Really?
Yeah. Most of them had a problem with it where I was like, I don't want this to affect my career or my reputation, or
Lord.
someone had a child where it's like, I don't know what you're gonna look like. So that was a thing, and I get it. So with him, it was actually like a breath of fresh air. He was the one that was cool about it, and then actually was by my side when all of it was coming out, and just kind of like that sounding board for me where I don't know if it's like this for you, but for us, it was insanity. And it was a lot of negativity.
Yeah, y'all's is a lot different, though.
So, yeah. You could never expect what it's going to be
Everybody's
like.
got an opinion about those kind of shows.
Yeah.
And they're going to voice it no matter what.
Yeah.
And the more negative ones are louder than the positive. That's just the problem.
Very loud, and all the things that I thought I'd get ripped apart about were not the things. So I wasn't prepared at all, but he was such a trooper through it. So
Does he have a good credit score?
and a big
Heart.
Does he fart?
He fart.
no, I've never heard him fart.
Oh.
Because
Sounds like Prince Charming.
he's not there yet.
I'm fine with that.
There you go. See?
Magnus, you all right, dude? You checking over there?
I want to meet him. I
Well,
already,
he actually dropped me off earlier.
tell him I said hi.
He'll come in.
Good.
Good, yeah.
We need to meet him.
What does he do?
He works in oil and gas.
Okay.
He works for a private firm. They do more like drilling,
Okay.
Okay.
acquisitions.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Why you laugh so hard, Magnus?
You talking about murders and
I don't
acquisitions?
Yeah,
fart
why
in
are
front
you
of my wife. I don't believe in farting in front of your wife. I don't believe it. They love it.
He
What if
farts in a-
something slipped?
I'll tell my daughter, I got a secret
if you
to tell you.
laugh too
She's
hard?
like, what? No.
Are you serious?
My daughter. I'll get her all the time.
Do you do the pull your finger thing?
No, I used to be like,
that too old school?
step on a frog thing. What the hell that frog is? When they were little, they thought it's hilarious.
My
so.
dad never did that with us.
Really?
No way.
He's too serious.
Very. No.
I'm an idiot.
He probably would have like died if we did it. Whenever we talked about like our butt, like, oh, you kicked me in the butt. He's like, it's your derriere. You'll sound much more educated if you say derriere. Yeah. So there was no like sharding and the day to day, but it was 3 girls, so it wasn't like we had a brother where they were ripping out.
I've got a 96-year-old grandmother. I'd go up to her and have her pull my finger. I don't care.
Yeah,
She'd
you're
love
a
it.
boy.
I know, it's a little different.
I got my sister to do the same thing. God bless her.
Good for her. She's free.
So what do you? What's the plan for you next? Like, what are you gonna be wanting to do?
Just working.
I'm trying to just get back to what feels normal. And I don't know what that is. I think it's going to be different.
This show's still pretty fresh, so it's a lot of social media stuff going on, buzz with it.
It's social media, but it's also just different opportunities to where I'm kind of, I keep hitting your mic, sorry. Where I'm like kind of pivoting what I think I want to do long term. So I'm doing a lot of stuff in the fashion realm and stuff with the closet audit. And my dad obviously is going to retire at some point. I work for his company. So trying to figure out.
It's his company?
Yes,
Okay,
it is his company. So
Why
really,
don't you keep the family heirloom going?
I'm trying to get my older sister to do it. I'm very much a passion person when it comes to work, and I love working for him. But as far as taking that after he retires, I see my older sister doing something more like that. I would rather have my own business. And that was like on my bucket list. You don't see it on the show, but one of the days is like talking about bucket lists. And that was one of my things. Like I've always wanted to own my own business and be my own boss at the end of my career, where I'm like building that to where I can let go of everything else and have that be my thing. Yeah. So that's what I'm working towards. That and God, social media. Bless it. Yeah.
You want to get off of social media?
I would love to get off social media.
But it's good for your business, too,
I
though.
know. That's what sucks. Is it's just like...
I mean, that's how you can sell to the masses.
I know.
And you've definitely grown up. I mean, I don't know what your following was before, but it has to be...
Oh, yeah.
Ample since then.
Yes. So I'm just trying to hone in on that and figure it out. Because if you're not a social media person, or if you're not used to it, it takes a second to adjust, figure out what your niche is, like what you want your brand to be.
Can't you convert your personal Instagram and social media accounts over to business oriented?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not that. It's just, but it's still social media. She's saying. I'm just saying, it's still a big part.
It's really time consuming. Is the thing. Once you have people that are following you, they like expect things where it's like, we want to know this, we want to know that. You're posting this.
Get dressed with me.
Yeah.
Get a manager. Get a social media manager.
I have one. I have.
I can't do the like talking to the phone thing.
What do you mean?
Like, like I'm doing this.
Why?
I don't know. I'm very self-conscious about it.
Get dressed with me today, folks.
It's just, I don't know. For me, I have no beef with anybody doing it. But for me, I just can't, I don't know. I
think that the more you do it, the more you feel comfortable with it. And there's going to be certain things that you're like, that feels more like me. And then others where you're like,
if I'm doing it, I gotta be silly because I can't be serious.
I know, but that's you.
That's me.
So just
that's
be silly.
I know.
Honestly, most of this is a guy thing.
Mind. What you need to do is watch Trey Kennedy. Do you watch Trey Kennedy?
Trey Kennedy's great.
That's like more, I think, your speed, where he's literally just making fun of everyone that's doing the social media things.
Him and John Christ are freaking awesome. Dude, we met him in Nashville, not Nashville, in Indy. The last time we went to Indy 500, or the last time we went to race. Dude, he's taller than me.
Wait, who is this?
John Christ.
John Christ.
So there's Trey Kennedy and John Christ. They're the same person. They look like the same exact person.
Okay,
he's a dark beard, clean comic.
Okay.
But we met him. I would never thought this guy's like 6'4". I'm like, what the hell?
He's a big dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's a little.
I need to look him up.
He's slender.
Okay.
But he's like, he lives in Nashville.
Okay.
Once you see him, you
I would know who he was.
Yeah, him and Trey Kennedy do a lot of stuff together.
Oh, okay.
So you definitely, like, those guys are like, they get confused for one another a lot.
Yeah, I saw Trey Kennedy. He came here like a month or two ago.
Yeah.
Did you go?
Nope.
No, I went.
I wish I'd like to see that. He's funny.
He is funny.
Aren't we going to see somebody like in March or something?
Or no.
Wait, didn't we have like a...
No, what Norman or somebody. I don't know. It's a comedian. Oh, Anthony Jeselnik.
There you go.
He's coming down, Magnus. Hey, so...
He's very dark.
He's very he's very dark.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. You have to have a demented mind to go watch a guy like this, and I do.
Lucky you.
Yeah,
it's like I bought 5 tickets.
Hey, okay, so on the podcast we do a thing called "What's Your Beef," because we have our sponsors, Good Ranchers.
Okay.
They are a meat subscription company that provide meat to people. You know that you can get meat from. It's all from United States ranches. So we do a segment called "What's Your Beef." So we ask every person, "What's your beef?" So like Izzy talked about
internet trolls.
That was his beef, and they've been all over the map. They've been all kind of stuff. It can be anything.
It could be anything you want.
What's
it could be like
your beef?
People cutting in front of you in line at the grocery store. It could be I got ghosted on my 3rd date again.
Skin pigments of areas.
Yeah.
What?
Wait, I can't stand
what we talked
ingrown
about
toenails.
Ingrown toenails, dude.
I can't stand people with messed up toes.
Dude, I'll tell you what. If you ever had an ingrown toenail, you would understand. You would just rather cut
sure
the whole
would.
toe off.
Now it's outgrown.
It hurts.
What does that look like?
It just means it's not there.
I understand now. So glad I came. Educational too.
Yeah, we're like, PBS.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, what's my beef?
Yep.
I'm trying to think which one I did last week.
Your beef was Magnus.
Yeah.
Why?
You making fun of me?
I feel like I had one.
He's
that
always
was
got some dumbass shit he talks about. His beef
in
was
the
about
Fed.
somebody. He told to stop doing heroin, and they kept doing heroin.
yeah, he was talking about people who are illogical.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's there's like this work requirement we have to get this. It's like
And he has to be.
we employ those types of people.
Okay.
It's for tax write-offs.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah,
But
got
at
a
the end of the
grant.
day, it helps you.
yeah. But if you would go to his GoFundMe, and no, I'm just kidding.
We're trying to help buy that helmet for him.
Yeah, well, just a plug. She's doing a fundraiser for helping kids on her Instagram.
Yes. I have a fundraiser going for kids' meals right now. So I think we're
Like-
a little over 3,000.
Okay.
The goal is 5,000 by Christmas.
So where do you go? You go to your social media and
Yeah, I have a
donate
post.
from there?
There's a post on there where you can click to donate, and you don't have to donate it on that. You can go to their website and donate, but $50 feeds 25 kids, and it's all Houston.
We'll go donate and we'll share it on our page.
Thank you.
I was gonna just donate, not say anything, because I don't want everybody to know how that I donated.
I'm
Oh my
saying that-
God.
I'm saying we're going to share the
I'm
things
totally
to, people
kidding.
to help
Feed the
donate.
kiddos.
I know what you're saying. I'm kidding.
Yeah. No, and then I had a Pilates class for it too, so it's been great. It always feels good to give back.
You had a Pilates class
Oh, yeah,
for
we-
the kids.
I had two classes where I taught for free. It was free entry for anyone. So it was like, if you get on the machine, please donate at least $50. So that's how kind of all of it started. And then I put something on my social media page for my following to
awesome.
donate.
Is Pilates hard?
Yeah. If it was easy, everybody would do it.
Looks
think-
like a trap.
Pilates
That's
is
right.
like one of those that works
That's
the
why it's
muscles
all
that you
women
don't
in
use.
there.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go.
You guys should come.
Is there like
We do events too. If you wanted to book it out and do like, hey, it's gonna be my birthday. It's these people. I want the studio, and I want you to teach. You can do it. You can
I
give me a
feel-
playlist.
I mean, I've always
done
wanted to do
80s
a
themes.
Pilates birthday.
Pilates.
I know.
Pilates is
When's your
like
birthday?
June 30th.
So we got a while to go. When's your birthday?
July 24th.
Fudge.
I know.
We're a
We
while
could do
out.
like right in between there.
Magnus, when's your birthday? You big Pilates guy.
April 27th.
God damn it, Magnus.
You're fired.
What about Valentine's Day?
I would love that.
I had straight eye contact. He was like, I would love that.
I would love that. Yeah. There's no better. I mean, am I blushing?
Not yet. Should we keep going?
No.
Oh
No.
gosh.
Yeah, we can do Pilates on
Let's set it up. You guys pick the charity. We'll get something going.
pick the chair.
Pick a charity. Yeah, we
Oh, I
always
thought you
do
said
it.
you guys pick the
Okay,
chair.
hey, so I'll get with Danielle and Adam because Danielle
Oh, yeah.
Danielle has a charity she does stuff for.
We should do it for
We
that.
could do one. That'd be fun.
Oh my god, I would
It'd be,
love
it'd be a
that.
good. It'd be a good collab.
And I know that she likes to work out.
And we'll bring the kids.
Yes. Please do. Please do. Who cares about Pilates? Just bring the kids.
They're gonna Pilates. Do the Pilates.
They're so cute.
They have kid Pilates.
I have never had kids. I think it's more of a liability thing with the machines.
Okay. It looks it looks like a torture trap.
Yeah, I think it looks more 50 Shades
Well,
of
they
Grayish.
they can just do
I like
they can
that.
do plyometrics on the side.
I think Blake could probably handle it.
She's
How
tall
old
enough.
is she?
12.
I think she could do it. The little one's probably not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will. I'll talk to them. Maybe we can do something like that.
I
That'd be
would
fun.
love
it'd be
that.
it'd be a cool charity thing
It
to
would be
do.
so fun.
Yeah, that
I
would
love
be.
nothing more. I'm still trying to think about my beef. I feel like, I'm thinking about what Izzy said with the trolls, but it's more like the people that have something to say, especially with me and the money thing. I feel like my beef is more with like my character, like my
Yeah.
edit and like whoever I am on that show. And the backlash is just so crazy. I'm still getting it.
What
I'm
people
still
say
getting
in public to you? Anybody ever say anything?
I've only had one odd thing happen in public where it wasn't necessarily to my face. It was the next day where they were like chatting with me to take the photo to post it the next day to like write whatever they wanted. But what they were saying to me in the moment was all positive. And that's
Yeah.
where I felt violated. And then like, I
Yeah,
don't want
of
to talk to
course.
people out here. Like
Yeah.
that whole thing. I think it's just really hard for people to like put yourself in someone's shoes. It is a
And
reality
they believe
TV.
everything.
Yeah.
It's a produced show.
I'm like, there's thousands of hours that have been filmed. You see whatever it is that they want you to see. And I was kind of surprised at like what you see with me and especially me and Izzy's relationship. It's kind of there, but not really. So it's just kind of left me with a lot of the pieces as far as what people think, and there's a lot of opinions.
It's segmented reality.
So was it really, did the ultimate, I guess the deal breaker, was it the money thing?
It was more about trust.
Okay.
And the money thing had come up previously, and what he told me was not what he was telling me 2 days before the wedding. When it came to credit, I never asked him what his credit was. It was more like, we needed to talk about finances. Are we doing a joint account? Are we getting a prenup? What are we doing? And that
Yes to all.
and that conversation. Well, he didn't know what a prenup was.
You thought it was dog food.
Probably. I don't know. So that last conversation was very worrisome. If your partner doesn't know what that is.
That was Alpo?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was more about trust, where it's like, hey, I need to tell you
Okay.
this and this and this. And it was all very big things and things that he lied about beforehand that I didn't realize he lied about until he was telling me the truth. And then we have 2 days apart, and then it's the wedding, where I'm like, I'd be out of my mind.
That's a lot of,
To
I
do
guess the
that.
2 days probably a lot of freaking out, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was more like, we need to talk about this before the big day. And he was like, then I need to tell you this. And I'm like, if you think that's that big of a deal, why didn't you tell me that when I asked if you had any debt? Why didn't you tell me that when I asked why you don't have a credit card? Or instead of saying, I don't have them because I don't want them, why didn't you say I can't get them because of X, Y, and Z?
Right.
So then I'm like, well, are you not telling me other things? And it was just too much for me to, yeah, let's get married and hope it all works out. That was terrifying to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think in the grand scheme of things, if it was a big deal to him to tell you at that time, then it's obviously like, you know, hey, if this is a big deal, like we really need to think about this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if he would have came to you and said, hey, I was young, I was dumb, I messed up my credit, you know, we're good now, whatever.
Absolutely.
Then it's a different story.
Absolutely. And there were plenty of times where that came up that I'm surprised he wouldn't have said that. Like, hey, like, why do you have a credit card? Hey, I need to tell you this. This is what happened. And then we have 2 weeks to kind of like figure out if there's consistency after that. But instead it was all just like, surprise.
Yeah.
Here you go. And I was just, given the context where you don't necessarily have that much time beforehand, where you're just fingers crossed saying a prayer that this is who I think it is, and that small thing that would be nothing in real life because you have time to figure out, like, maybe it was just an accident. Maybe that's the only thing they're hiding. We didn't have that time.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah. No, I firmly think that that's like something valid. I think in relationships, those are conversations that need to be had. And I think especially, you know, looking at, you know, your age right now. So when I got married, I was 26, right?
Okay.
So Dale, you were about the same age. 24. No, actually I was 20. No, I was 26. So the maturity level from 26 to 35 is so vastly different.
yeah,
I wasn't thinking about my wife's credit score at 26.
I wasn't thinking about my own credit score at 26.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
you know, now here I am 39. I've got her checking that thing once a week. I mean, I'm like all over it. It's, you know, everything's, I mean, that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
To get into a relationship with somebody where they bring in financial baggage.
Yeah, and I owned a home, and I just bought the home, and a lot of the money that I had with my down payment was stuff from investments, and it was stuff from my work, and that's why the prenup thing came up, where I was like, hey, this lawyer needs to know, are you contributing to appliances if they go out, because that affects the value of the home. All of it was very much me just trying to be responsible, like, how do you want to do this? Any answer is fine, but it's going in this prenup, so we know how things are going to get divvied out. If you want equity in the home at some point, we can talk about that. And then the credit thing came up, I think, more so because of what he would be able to contribute with stuff with the home, cars. If I wanted to buy another property, like I would probably be more so on my own with that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that's really where I was coming from. It was never like, I need you to pay for this. It was like, are you paying for it or not? I'm fine with either. I just need to know what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm 100% in for prenups. Like 100%.
But money is like one of the biggest stressors on any marriage, though.
It
Yeah.
is.
Like, so going into it, that could be, that'd be tough.
Yeah.
Because, you know, things happen when you marry young. You definitely,
Yeah.
you get ebbs and flows of that, and a lot of learning. I mean, hell, I was the same way at 24. I was
Yeah.
a freaking idiot, you know?
I think we all were when we were young. And I
Yeah.
think it was more of like, you have to ask the uncomfortable things, especially in the situation that we were in, because if you don't have the opportunity to have time to see, like, if you have time, you can see what someone spends things on. Hey, they're a lavish spender. Hey, they're able to travel a lot. Or hey, when they travel, they do this. Or hey, like, they golf a lot. This costs this much. You just have an idea of like what they can spend comfortably, but we didn't have any
no
of
basis.
that. We never went on a date
Right.
in the real world.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what's your idea of spending? And I'm not going to judge you, but is it going to dinner and it being $50? Is it a $300 meal? When you go to the grocery store, what is it? How often do you go? When you go on trips, how often is it? What's your idea of luxury? We just didn't have a whole lot of that, and then it was just like a big kaboom at a very bad time.
Yeah, that is a tough situation.
Yeah, we think that relationship, if they try to like condense it into 2 weeks,
it's
a lot to.
It can't be genuine at that point. It would be my thing.
I think if all the stars align
Yeah.
and people get really lucky, then it is.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people on the show have found that. But I think you've got to be honest 100% all the way through it to get there and
Yeah.
just accept it or choose not to. But like I said before, something that would be very small in the real world in that situation can knock the whole thing down
Right.
because you don't have any time.
Now imagine going through that at 22.
Oh my God.
None of this, we wouldn't be talking about any of this right now if you did it
No.
at 22 because
Yeah.
you would be married.
You've been married, divorced by then.
Probably. That's how a lot of my
young?
friends are from like where I grew up in Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you'd be divorced. I'm trying to look at the glass half full, but you would have been married. You would have been married,
Yeah.
obviously divorced, and so yeah, it's crazy how age changes things.
It does, but I wouldn't change a thing. I learned a lot about myself, and I wouldn't take anything back. It was a wild ride, and a lot of it was hard, but there was
Yeah.
a lot of good that came from it.
I mean, the good thing is that y'all were spotlighted, and then aside from doing this, you got to, I don't know, good or bad, it got documented, and you get to see a lot of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is weird, though.
Because there's some that you don't even see.
I know. That is so weird.
So you're like, you're on the show, like I never saw you.
Yeah.
Like you got no benefit from being on it.
I know.
You
That
know?
would be tough. I've asked myself that question, though, like, what would it be like if it was like, we're not going to show you? And I can't decide. I think there'd always be that, like, what if thing.
Yeah.
But then I also wouldn't have the stress and the tears from all the people that have literally, like, torn me apart.
Oh,
like,
no, people are
there's
dicks.
just, like, you know, there's a win and a lose for each situation where you're going to be like, what if I had that? What if I had that?
right.
Yeah, it's tough. Like I say, I don't get a lot of hate on social media.
Yeah.
But when they do, I love it. Like I welcome it because it's funny.
Yeah.
But
What kinds of things is it?
I don't know.
Worst uncle ever.
Most of it's me.
That's what I think. That's most of it because it really there's not.
There's not much.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
genuine. I'm myself on there.
Yeah.
If it is anything, I don't really know. I've seen some funny stuff like on Reddit, which is funny.
Like what though?
Like they were talking about me and they're talking about Adam, and they said something like, they said Uncle Dale looks like the guy that would chug Bud Light and storm the Capitol.
They said that about JP from our season. American Flag Guy. They're like, where was he? Was it January 6th or January 8th?
I mean,
That's hilarious.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, where were you?
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of bad, but like I said, every once in a while on Twitter we would get it, and oh dude, I enjoy it, but it's gonna, it's new to y'all too,
Yeah.
and these people were just like he said, these people have terrible lives. To go and say something to somebody else, like,
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
insecurity.
it
That's all that is.
It's
Yeah.
but it isn't easy for anybody to read that stuff about you.
No, I mean, I definitely have gotten to a place where I don't read it or I just expect the worst, where I'm like, if I get one nice comment, it is a good day.
Yes.
That's
like-
just where I'm
you're
at.
like, score.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We actually talked about this last night, and I was saying, like, would you take advice from a stranger? Most people wouldn't. So why would you take their criticism?
That's a good point.
I mean, it's the same thing. Why, if you're not going to take their advice about something that's important,
Yeah.
but you're going to take their criticism as being as important, that doesn't match up. It's just stupid. It's like, say what you want to say and be done with it.
Yeah.
It just makes it's harder because on a post they put it on there, then these other people go like it or start it causes a cancer in there.
Yeah.
And everybody starts chiming
Going.
in, and that's
Yeah.
what makes it tougher.
Yeah.
That's what I would see. That would be
Yeah.
worse. You're like, okay, that's just one person. Like, oh fuck, well,
Yeah.
got 700 likes, and all these people are.
Yeah, because
are
then you're
below
like, I don't believe it,
talking
but there's
shit.
that many people that think it. Then you're like, is it true? Like, am I not seeing this thing about myself? Or I'm
Yeah.
this horrible person or whatever. So I just don't look at it anymore. And I'm like, I'm just not going to win over a certain crowd of people that have come from the show. I'm trying to focus on something completely different, things that I love to do, and the people that love me and want to follow me. Like, that's all that matters.
Are you friends with a lot of people from the show still?
Yeah, I am. I'm really close with a lot of the girls. I actually just had a Christmas party where a bunch of them came over.
Oh, nice.
Was
Yeah.
it like the money hungry group?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure.
The judge
Miriam
trick-
brought me dollar bill ornaments. I told everyone that came over they had to bring me a Christmas ornament for the tree because it was my first Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has to represent them or my friendship with them. And I had to like guess which one was from who. And Miriam brought me dollar bills.
Did you say you were worth more than that?
Absolutely.
Good.
Well, she told me, she was like, it was a wait list for the 100, so you got the 5. I'm like,
How am I
"That's
gonna fly
fine."
with this?
Yeah.
First class.
I had someone had like a little plane on there, but there was a bunch of fun stuff. But Renee was there, Estefania, Lydia. Who else was there? Taylor couldn't make it, but I'm close with Taylor.
She wears too much makeup. I'm just joking.
I can't with these makeup comments
Dude.
and everyone's opinion on makeup.
So JP tells her that's how they. I mean, they fought the whole damn time in Mexico.
Yeah.
But he told her that she wears too much makeup. He's like, I wish you look like this. She's like, I'm not going to look like this when I go to the house. Like,
I'm so proud of her for saying that because I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of girls would have just cried or been like you're
Yeah.
engaged to this person and they're saying that, insinuating they don't physically like how you look. A lot of people would have cried, and she was like, I don't care.
she's like, I'm not going
F
to go
you.
out with no makeup on or fixed up, which I don't. I mean, hey,
Yeah, she's a cutie though, so he's a dum dum.
he missed out. Yeah, she's a pretty girl.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
Dum dum. Bring her back. Bring her back. Just clogged up the old Mexican toilet with the Duke.
Hey, that's just me.
That's hilarious. So you're from Nashville. When did you move to Houston?
So, this is my 3rd time living here. I'm originally from SoCal. I moved to Houston when I was 6. I moved to New York when I was 8. I moved back to Houston when I was 9. I moved to Nashville when I was 10. Moved to Scottsdale. I mean, I've been all over the place. I moved back here probably 9 years ago.
Okay.
You've lived in every American time zone.
Did you?
It's impressive.
I have.
That's impressive.
Thank you for noticing. He's quick.
Yeah. It's impressive.
I don't get it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe you.
I moved around a
I'm
ton.
not fact checking that.
Yeah.
What part
No,
of
he didn't.
SoCal?
Newport Beach.
Okay. Great place.
So that's where my grandparents, aunts, uncles, that whole side is. My dad's side of the family is in Cali.
Okay.
Did you do any celebrities makeup in Nashville?
No, but when I was a stylist there, I worked with a few.
Really?
Jennifer Nettles from Sugarland. Luke Bryan's wife came in for like some of the CMAs. I had Lily Aldridge. She's married to the lead singer of Kings of Leon, and she's like a Victoria's Secret
Yeah.
model.
Ooh.
So when I lived there, Nashville was still fairly small. Taylor Swift was living there, but it was still smaller. So
Were they in like the Franklin area?
I lived in Brentwood,
Oh,
close
yeah.
to
Brentwood,
the
yeah, good
Franklin
spot.
area, but I was working in Green Hills because in Nashville we don't have Saks or Neiman's or Bloomingdale's. So like where people got styled was where I worked, Nordstrom. So we
Yeah.
had big
Nordstrom
time,
had good stuff though. I always like Nordstrom.
especially in Nashville because that's all that was there. Oh my God, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban came there, and them
Really?
I was just like, don't let me help them because I'm just gonna be like
I know.
staring.
Me and Crystal went in 2018 to Nashville, and we stayed in Cool Springs.
Cool Springs.
We stayed outside. Like, hey, let's rent a car. So
Yeah.
We can move. We can go all over.
Yeah.
We shopped in Franklin. We ran to Jay Cutler at the Frothy Monkey.
That's so funny because he used to live in my dad's
Really?
neighborhood. So Frothy Monkey's 12 South area.
Yeah.
That's where my best friend lives.
So we were there. I went to a cool men's boutique in Franklin. God dog it. I don't know. I can't remember now. But I went to a cool, like, it had like a men's boutique. It was big. Like a big
Okay.
provision store.
Ask my dad Dale.
Huh?
Ask my dad Dale. He would know.
You know?
Absolutely.
It was sick. I bought some like boots and some cool stuff.
They were
there.
It's
really
probably a
cool
hot
shopping.
topic.
Oh God, I don't know about that.
No, but they had some cool stuff. A lot of the men's provision stores are, Jesus. I got a buddy of mine has one in my hometown. It's
Yeah.
$500 jeans,
Oh,
$200
okay.
shirts. I mean,
Yeah. I'm trying to
that
think
stuff
of.
gets outrageous.
I want to. It's not Grady's. That's a place in Newport. I could ask Dale. You're saying it's in Franklin or Cool Springs?
It was in Franklin.
And it was just a men's boutique.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's see.
So my parents got divorced when I was in college, and so when that happened, my dad went ham shopping.
Yeah.
Where he's like,
He was wearing like the Affliction shirts.
no, it was at that time it was the Robert Graham. Do you remember Robert Graham, where it was the button-ups where you flipped the sleeve and the cuff?
Franklin Road Apparel.
Franklin Road Apparel.
That's what it was called. Yeah.
Okay.
It was cool. It was on West Main Street in Franklin.
Oh, so you were like the square, Franklin Square.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're talking about a French cuff shirt?
No. Well, maybe. But you don't know what I'm talking about. Robert Graham. The time frame that he's talking about, Robert Graham was the big designer where all the guys were wearing the button downs, where it was a print, but as soon as you flipped the cuff, it wasn't
Yes.
like, it was like a
God.
different print.
Yeah, I know.
It was Robert Graham.
I was never that insecure that I had to get expensive clothes.
I
to
hate
Well,
that.
lucky you.
I hate that another guy named Dale wore that.
But you know what I'm talking about. That was the thing.
That was their age group, though.
That was the thing.
But these guys are like, I'm going to Vegas. I got to get a new Robert Graham shirt.
Everybody's got to get Tommy Bahama.
Yeah. And Tommy Bahama. Yes.
Hell yeah. When I'm older, I will be a Tommy Bahama guy.
Okay.
I'm going to wear boat
Man,
shoes
you know,
and Tommy Bahama everything.
I
Good.
think about that like as
But I'm
I
going to smoke
like,
cigars.
Good.
I think about that like when I go to like my daughter's school, I see these other dads. Like I wear like Jordans and backwards hats, and like I don't dress.
You're the
I'm
cool
like,
dad.
I'm like I can't ever see myself dressing like that.
Yeah.
They don't think you're a real dad.
They probably don't.
He's the nanny. He's the manny.
Exactly. But it's like
He shares,
I don't know.
He shares clothes with his daughter.
I can't see myself like dressing like that. I don't know.
I get that. I don't see myself dressing in like little sundresses and cute little sandals.
I just can't do it. I don't know.
Magnus does. He sees
Magnus wears little maxi dresses all the time.
all the time.
Oh,
Tits out and everything.
it's easier. You don't have to pair it with anything. It's just one
There
piece.
you go.
Yeah. There you go.
Leave me out of this.
Poor guy.
I don't do fashion.
I have nothing to do with this.
I've been styling him. I've been giving him all my old clothes. So I've been hooking him up.
Nice.
He's like, he's got 6 kids. He's like, man, I don't buy stuff for myself. He's
I
like,
still can. That is crazy. Just take the hand-me-downs.
yeah, hey, dude.
God bless him.
I don't blame you. But yeah, so thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you for having me.
It was
Hope you
very
had fun.
enjoyable.
Any other wild questions? There is no question too crazy.
Okay.
It's your last chance.
I don't.
It doesn't have to do with the show.
What'd you-
It can do with the show.
Didn't you make a comment about Izzy's package on the show?
Yeah. He was
got a-
well endowed.
He's got a hog?
He's well endowed.
Yeah. That's what I heard.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh God. Oh, shit.
Here's the thing.
You talked yourself into this.
Happily. I love talking about this.
Shout out Izzy, big dog.
Yeah.
Dude, hey.
I texted him when that comment was aired. I just texted him. I was like, "You're fucking welcome. I have
Dude,
made
that
your
had-
life."
That had helped his dating life after that.
It couldn't have hurt.
No.
Couldn't have hurt. No, but as a female, when you're dating and then you find a guy where like, oh my gosh, they're so great, you have to wonder like, why are they single? And that for most women is the question. Like, are they single? Because
It's small.
yeah.
Yeah.
And usually it's a yes. Usually it's a yes. It all
Yeah.
makes sense as soon
Yeah.
as like you see the goods. So, was it Renee? She called it like the baby carrot. She was like the curse of the baby carrot. I was like, what? And she's like, like that. And I'm like, oh
wow.
God. Oh God.
But is it fast?
That looks big.
Well, because it's
kidding.
Love is Blind. So you're like, what if you fall in love? What if you get into like the Mexico fantasy suite and that happens?
That's like 12 inches that you showed.
It's supposed
Where is your ruler, Dale?
Hey.
What has your wife been telling you?
It's supposed to look like a belly button, right?
What? Wait.
What, a little eeny?
Wait.
listen.
What?
Oh, it's
belly,
not?
a belly button.
Oh, well,
outie.
if I touch hard enough, it'll pop.
Oh my God, y'all need to watch this show. I was just introduced to this show
Naked
through a
Attractions?
friend. Is that what it is? Is it on Max?
Yes. Isn't that
Yes.
wild?
Yes, where they just go from the waist down at first.
Dude,
so you've seen it.
Yeah. The one dude on the first episode had a freaking elephant ear
Yes!
tattoo on him. He had a big old.
He had an elephant ear tattoo on his thighs to frame his schlong to be the trunk.
Is his schlong blurred out?
No.
No!
No. It's just shot in the UK.
Everything is visible.
Oh, you can see full.
No,
So-
they'd be like, she's like, is there any wieners you want to see up close? And she'll walk up to him and she'll like, oh, I like the way this one looks.
And all you can see
you
for
smell
all
it?
6 There's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. You can see every contestant just from the waist down, and then you eliminate someone, and then they go up.
Yep.
And then they eliminate someone more, and then it's their face. And you see everything. And they're literally just sitting there naked.
Then they talk. Then once they get talk, they get to the final two. Then the person gets naked.
That is something that would interest me to watch on TV.
You know what? It's actually pretty good because all like the little facts about the body and like the certain parts of the area is that once you get past being a 10-year-old laughing at the naked bodies.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't stop laughing because I had never seen an uncircumcised thing. And it's more European people or all European people where that's more common. And I was just like,
no, my wife, when she watched, she's like, oh.
So, circumcision is only popular in the United States.
And that's why I live here.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so bad. No, I mean, whatever. It was just like it was fascinating.
You need to watch it. I've watched like 4 episodes.
Y'all go watch it after this.
I will.
No, it's actually, you have it the Max app?
Well, it looks like I'm going to have to buy something else.
Just get it, yeah.
Yeah. It's very educational.
It's very interesting. We were telling people from our show, some of the producers, they were talking about it. They're like, dude, you would love this show, Dale. Like, I was like, okay, I guess they think I want to see a bunch of wieners, but
I'm just shocked that they show it. Like, there's no.
Well, once I realized it was the UK, it made sense. But I was surprised they do show it. But on the streaming services, really,
I guess that doesn't matter.
Dude, because I mean, you see everything. They're like, what about this girl's labia you like?
Yeah. No, they literally do.
Dude, I am so.
They literally do.
That's my life right there. I would be good on a show like that.
Magnus is showing it. That's the pods.
So each person is a color.
Of Love Is Blind.
Okay. It really is. They don't talk at all. They don't know anything about them.
Apparently.
All right. Love Uncut.
That would actually be a better name for it.
That would have been a great name.
That's the title of the podcast episode.
Oh, God.
That's the name of the episode.
It's Love Uncut. That's the episode. There's the name.
You should be in marketing.
Hey.
You're pretty quick. You should be in marketing.
See? I try.
Love Uncut.
Love Uncut.
Try YouTubing that later and see what happens.
Oh, you should do it.
Oh, man.
Dude, you need to watch the show. Like I said, I watched like the first 2 episodes of that without Crystal, and then because she was gone one night, and I was like, all right, hey, I'll watch it again. You got to see this shit.
That's one of those explain yourself shows. So if you're watching it by yourself and your wife or girlfriend or whoever comes
absolutely.
in, and then you're like, well, hold on. Listen, I'm not watching this for it.
Well, there's nobody on the show like that attractive. You're like, oh man, this is like great viewing. There's none of that.
Oh,
No.
shit, then I won't watch it.
No,
I think that's why it's more fascinating. Because you're like,
it's not. It feels like just great looking bodies. It'd be like, okay,
yeah.
I probably wouldn't be as intrigued.
Definitely wouldn't be as intrigued.
No.
I have a question for y'all.
Yes.
So you're both married.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I need to know the most epically embarrassing thing that has happened to you in marriage. Mm-hmm. And I need to know the worst date that happened pre-marriage.
Okay, so I can easily answer.
I can't answer the second one. I had some girlfriends, but I was young.
You never had a bad date?
I was like 17, 18 years old. It wasn't like nothing like that.
Really? So not like the person I told you about earlier?
No. It's just so different. We're so young, you know?
You talking about Fart and Frank?
Yes. I'm glad you said Frank instead of his real name.
Gassy Gary?
The guy that had a really big heart.
He had a big heart.
Gassy Gary. An embarrassing moment in marriage.
I had one. And I will say, I think I've even talked about it before. One time I got really sick.
Oh, yeah.
And when I say sick, I had like a stomach issue, like where something did not settle right. And I went to bed. And so my son at the time was probably 4 or 5, let's say. Mm-hmm. So I'm in bed and all of a sudden I just feel awful. Like I've got to puke, shit, everything.
Something's going on. You got to run.
So I go to the restroom to throw up. And as I'm throwing up, I shit myself. Okay.
That's why you got to sit on the pot and hold the bowl.
I didn't think it was going to come out the rear.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. So I get done throwing up. I'm like, oh, I feel a little bit better. And then I get in the shower and I start taking a shower and I'm like, oh God, I'm about to pass out. So I literally turn the shower off and I run to my bed, soaking wet, butt naked. And in the meantime, my child has gotten in the bed and he's in the middle of the bed. He's passed out asleep. And then I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm laying in bed. I feel better. And then all of a sudden it hit me again. And I went to throw the covers off. I threw the covers off. And as I threw them off, I started to puke. And projectile shat
On him?
from my side of the bed over the entire bed onto the floor on the entire bed.
Your face.
And I'm not kidding you. I was like, oh my God. And my son wakes up from the rustle, the rustle of the covers. And he says, Dad, you're not supposed to poop in the bed.
It was like 3 weeks ago.
Where was your wife?
She was
In the bed?
She was cleaning it.
She had to clean it all up because I was so sick.
Oh my God.
You got any pictures you could send me for the short?
Oh my God, you poor thing, first of all. But like, your poor wife.
No kidding.
I mean,
Oh my God, that's so
poor
embarrassing
wife,
though.
poor
Like
Vaughn. He
I
was sick.
Poor Vaughn.
I feel like we've all had that happen at one time or another. Thank God it's always been like if I'm alone, because I would die if I was around anyone. I would die.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a true testament to a marriage.
Oh
I don't
my
know. I don't
God.
have anything like that.
So that's the most embarrassing thing that's happened in your marriage.
Yeah.
Did
So-
you ever speak about it after?
Yeah, I talk about it all the time.
Does she make fun of you all the
I
time?
brag about it now.
Did you see the distance on that?
I mean, I was like, golly.
Oh God.
And
Wow.
then, most embarrassing date. I've had a weird date before. Hey, I could do this all day. I had actually went on a date with a girl who was she was very smart, very good looking, she was and is very successful to this day. And I went on a date with her.
Let's look at her LinkedIn profile.
I'm never going to mention names. Went on a date with her. Everything was good. We started kind of hanging out a little bit. And I think like maybe after the second or third date, we call it date. I mean, I was in my late teens, early 20s, right? And she was like, hey, there's some things we want to talk to you about. So we were over at like a friend's house or somebody. And she starts telling me like all of these medicines that she's taking. Well, my mother's a psychotherapist.
Okay.
So I have been around drug reps my entire life. I know a whole lot about pharmaceuticals.
Okay.
And the things that she's telling me, I'm like, okay, that's an antipsychotic. Okay, well, that's a benzodiazepine. I'm sitting there thinking like, this is enough medicine to kill a horse.
And that's what she's saying she was taking?
She was, but she wanted to she was said it in a way of before you and I, she was making it sound like, I know you and I are very serious and it looks like we have a long future together. I'm like, we're 2 dates in.
You're like, so she's like, so if I pass out, you need to know my medication
Stage
list?
5
She's telling me all this as she battles these mental illness. And again, I don't blame her for that, but I think there's a better time for it. Maybe not after the second date, and maybe not make it sound like we're getting married next week, because I had plans. Yeah.
Very serious
That
plans.
was a weird. That's
Well,
the only
what
one
did
I
you
could really
say?
You're
like, thanks for sharing?
Give me a benzo.
What do you say? I mean, I think I'm like, I appreciate you letting me know about it. I wasn't rude. I
would have asked why. We're like, why are you sharing this?
Well, I did say that. I said, I mean, is this something you wanted to share, like, for your own good? I mean, do you think this, like, helps? She's like, well, I just want to be open and honest with you about it. And it's like, I kind of said, well, it kind of makes me feel like I'm getting the not real you right now, but you're letting me know, hey, this is the real me and this is what you got to get prepared for.
Oh, God.
That's how I thought about it. So I was like, no.
So now I need to know.
Yeah, but
Did you go out with her after that date?
God, no.
I was waiting for you to say yeah.
No.
She was hot.
He's like, I married her.
Hell no. She's making dinner.
Oh, God.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I didn't need that baggage.
Oh, man.
Only
Oh,
one of
boy.
us is going to be screwed up, and it's going to be me.
You already claimed that title?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good for you.
Good
So,
Lord.
you haven't had any.
Dude, I don't know of any.
Your night terrors are kind of funny.
Oh, I walk and talk in my sleep a lot.
Are you serious?
I've woken up inside my car in my underwear with my keys.
In his butt.
Is your wife a light sleeper? Or
She is,
heavy
because
sleeper?
no, she like
So she knows when you're doing that.
yeah, like I said, usually when I'm like if I'm really tired or whatever, I'll sleepwalk or I would talk a lot. But like I've woken up outside of my house. When I live with my mom, I'd wake up myself. I'm blocked myself out of the house. I'm standing at the door. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like,
Wait, so then you like come to and you're
Yes.
like, that's gotta be scary.
and then like so me and Crystal, like anytime I get up, just go piss. She's like, you are. I'm like, shut the
Yeah.
fuck. Like I'm doing a piss. Like,
You can't blame her.
but
She's like,
every-
are you
but
gonna
every-
come back or are you taking a drive?
no, but every time, yeah, she would think. I haven't really done that in a while, but there have been times where I thought a snake was in my bed. I remember jumping out of bed and I grabbed all the blankets to her back, like I grabbed the snake, and I'm freaking out. Like, dude, like my heart's 1,000 miles an hour. Like, not even joking. Like, I'm so
And your
scared
eyes
of
are
snakes.
open?
Yes. She saw I cuss her out and all kind of stuff, and like more. She's like,
And she can't tell if it's you or
she
like sleepy
You
you.
remember you said this? I'm like, no.
He does the same thing when he's awake. So
Yeah.
she doesn't think anything.
Oh my god. So she woke up and you're like, shh.
Dude, there've been times where I was hiding on the side of the bed, like I felt like somebody was coming at me. Like I got some weird dreams, man.
Oh, well, it means you have a wild imagination.
I do.
You gotta get it out somewhere.
Somewhere.
My wife is a snake.
Why not in the bed?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. I remember my heart. I could have had a heart attack that night. I'm so scared of snakes, and like I felt one was in my bed.
Do you have insomnia?
No,
And you don't take any sleep aids?
no. I sleep like I go to sleep quick. I wake up dead ass tired because I move a lot in my
Yeah.
sleep, and so I've been to sleep study. I've done all kind of stuff.
And they say everything's normal?
Yeah, I've tried restless leg syndrome medicine. I've tried all kind of stuff.
Because
Like
I have insomnia.
my mind doesn't shut off. That's my problem. Like I'll go to sleep and my mind's just.
And there's nothing that's like helped with it.
I mean, marijuana, but I can't do that because of my job.
I take.
I was like, can you? Yeah. It's
mean,
a deal breaker, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but like, that's the only thing I've really slept. Like I could
Huh.
sleep, but like the only thing I really shut. I've tried medicines, but I don't like taking medicine. I don't take any medicines.
Well, a lot of people
I've
say
tried 'em.
if they take Ambien,
And the
that's
next-
what they do.
So
I
he
used
does.
to take Ambien. I never got like some people do crazy stuff. in
Right, like
Ambien.
that, where they're like walking around and then it's like they come to.
I did buy. I bought Corvette rims.
You don't have a Corvette.
in my sleep.
How? Were you like on QVC?
No, I found them on a website, and I used my credit card.
And you
I did
found out when they
everything.
arrived?
I got a shipping confirmation the next maybe 24 hours later, and I was like, "What in the hell?" And I go and I
How
look.
much were they?
They were like $2,800, and I was, and I'm not one that's like gonna go check my bank account every day. It's like I'm not gonna freak out and like, oh my god, what happened? So I didn't have a clue, and I'm like, what?
Now I gotta buy a Corvette.
$2,800. So I bought 2 Corvettes.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that.
Only logical thing to do.
Yeah, it was a sign.
Yeah. So I stopped taking Ambien. Now I take 100 milligrams of trazodone every night. It doesn't work, but now it's a habit.
Okay.
I've tried. Dude, this young like Indian doctor I go to, he is so fascinated with me because he's like, man, I've been talking to my buddies about you. Like he's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll try some medicine. I'm like, nah, I threw that shit in the trash.
Yeah.
I was like, I know
working.
what I felt the next day.
Yeah.
And it didn't help. I mean, I'm not opposed to taking medicine, but if it worked, I would be all on it. But
So it worked as far as keeping you asleep, but you didn't like how you felt the next day?
no, it didn't help me sleep. I still felt the same way.
Huh.
But I'd wake up like I just wake up tired.
If I get 6
I
hours
would get,
of sleep,
if I were married to you, I would have cameras everywhere.
Well, that's what I told her. We should set some cameras up. It'd be funny to see what
that,
happens.
That could be your moneymaker.
and
Yeah.
you can put it on OnlyFans.
There we go.
That or add it to the podcast.
Dude.
Dale's dreamy
We'll do it.
endeavors. Dale's
Dream
The
Lair.
triple D.
Dale's
Dale-
Dream Lair.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I hadn't done it as much, but I did it. Man, I get some wild dreams though, dude. I had some crazy person in my dream the other day. Some celebrity. I almost messaged them just to let them know I had a dream about him. It was like
Did they respond?
I didn't, but I should have. It was
you did it.
It was that weird. I was like, I almost messaged. I forgot what it was now. Like that day, the next day, I can remember like vividly. I can remember every detail of my dreams.
Yeah.
And then
Well, you're lucky because I don't.
some
I
of
don't.
them I forget, but some of them are so wild. Like I tell the stories. They're funny. Like some of the ones that I remember.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's a special talent of yours.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right.
Can you imagine you on the show, say you, like, obviously, before you're married, you match with someone and you go to Mexico and that sort of stuff was happening?
That would freak somebody out.
Yes.
I would love that.
Can you imagine?
I would have such a fun time with that.
Yeah.
So here's a funny story. So one of my best friends and his wife, they know I sleepwalk and talk. So we went on a trip one time. We took a trip. A hurricane was coming. We were living in Louisiana, so we went to like Austin,
Yeah.
like that. And my friend Jamie, she's like, I don't want to be in a hotel with you because it's gonna freak me out. So she's like, one night, She's like, one night, like, so we had a double queen bed hotel. She goes, one part of the night, she goes, I'm sitting there just waiting. I'm like waiting to go to sleep. She goes, all of a sudden, she goes, I just sit up and I look around and I just lay back down. And she's like, oh shit.
It's happening. It's happening.
Dude, she said it was so freaky. So you just looked up, you just like scanned the room and just laid
You
back
need to
down.
sleep with like a bell on to warn people. Like you sit so there's like a bell that goes off.
It's
man.
The Conjuring.
Dude.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I should have went mess with her.
You should,
Yeah, I've done this.
She went and laid down. I should have looked there and like pointed at you.
Yeah, something terrifying.
You're next.
Poor thing. She would have been traumatized for life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna butter your bread.
God.
Oh man.
Yeah, you're right.
This has been fun.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
thank
has.
you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, loved it. Definitely not what I was expecting. This guy's got jokes.
I say, it's all natural.
That's all that.
Hey, we did.
It's the medicine.
Dale and I did take boner pills on the last episode, which is kind of fun.
Like Viagra?
We took Blue Chews.
Yeah.
What's a blue chew?
It's like
It's
the
chewable Viagra.
Instagram company.
Do y'all watch 90 Day Fiance?
No.
Do you know? Well,
I know what it is, but I
but
don't
do you know who Gino is on the show?
What does he look like?
He's bald, but he always wears the fedora, and he's with
Yes, and he's with the semi decently good looking
she's
woman.
from Panama.
Yes, and she's very needy.
Very
Okay, yes.
okay. So the first series in that show, when he first comes on, he lives with his parents, and he's getting ready to go to Panama to see his potential wife, which he is with now. And they're like, so Gino, like, what did you get for the trip? And he's like, I had to get my blue pills, and from Amazon. They're like, what are they for? And he's like, well, I can't afford Viagra, so it's like boner pills. And he just has a whole thing of blue pills. So you said blue chew, and I'm assuming
That's kind of what it is. It's like a
Well, this is an actual
cheap
prescription.
It's a prescription, but it's cheap.
I don't know. He said he got it from Amazon.
Yeah.
So why were y'all taking boner pills?
He's got ED real bad, so
I've had that. Not me personally.
You've had ED.
I've had an issue with someone with that.
Okay, I'm gonna just first of all, I don't have ED problems.
he's got a prescription.
I know.
That's
don't
what I would
have
say if I had it.
I was just going to say that. I would
See?
say the same thing if
Yeah.
that happened.
Closet case.
This is inappropriate.
So it
brought
was
it up.
just for fun.
Well,
Yeah.
he had it, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna take it. So I called my wife and let her know, and she was on the podcast. She's like, yeah, it's funny. She's like, oh, wait,
What?
She's like, you're gonna start touching each other. He's like, this don't make you gay.
Wait, so then what was the point? Was it just see if it worked?
Just see if it worked.
To see if it worked.
It didn't do anything.
So you gave it 0 stars.
Yeah, it's a
All right, so I've taken 4 of them.
at once.
One time I doubled up, nothing.
Okay.
I don't know what it's supposed to do. So I don't. This is.
That's what I would
He
say,
went.
too.
Wait, I don't have ED problems. But you know what? You know what? Sometimes I want to do. Sometimes I just want to be an all nighter. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay. And I wanted to see maybe I could get back to
Yeah.
the way I was whenever I was 20.
Okay.
And,
That's fair.
And you know what? I didn't get back to it.
Okay.
But we're not giving up.
But maybe it was the meds. Maybe it wasn't you.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it was
it's
the blue
meds.
chews.
Yes. Maybe so.
It's funny.
We'll
Maybe
never
so.
know.
We'll never know because we'll never talk about it again.
Well, thank you for sharing. I know so much more about you now.
He shared. I was just clearing it up.
You brought it up.
Well, I was saying we took boner pills. You didn't have to sit here and say, "Oh, he's got ED problems."
Well,
Well, I
mean,
would just
come
assume
on.
that's why you both were taking them. So
No,
I took him illegally.
I take aspirin. Doesn't mean I have a headache all the time.
well, so do you have a problem?
I do have a problem.
Yeah,
I
we
have,
know.
I have a problem with
It has 2 letters.
dissociative stories.
How long could you guys go on like this? Just like
I got about 7 hours left in me.
It can go on.
Because I take
that's why we do our show unscripted, because we just riff.
Yeah.
And it's even more fun with a guest because it's,
Adds a different dynamic to your ED.
Yes.
I'm glad I was here
Yeah.
as that buffer.
Yeah.
I don't have ED.
But if you got any extras, if they don't work, I'll take them.
That's what I would say too if I didn't have it.
I do have extras.
Great.
You want to take one right now?
I'm going to take them in my pocket for a rainy day.
Yeah.
There will always be a rainy day.
I don't think they work on women.
Who said they were for me?
Hey, I can't wait to meet him.
I'm just going to throw him in his cocktail.
wait to
Poor
meet
guy. He's so chill. I would do that to him. We'd be like, what the fuck? Oh my God, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, but
Let's make it work.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, the way they sell it to you is it's some sort of like, oh, you just become an animal. You don't.
It's like that episode in the Sex and the City. Did y'all ever watch any
Oh
Sex
my
and the
gosh!
City?
Whenever she took Viagra and kept
Yeah,
taking it,
because the
over
guy
and over
was
again.
taking it. It was like a high, and then she got addicted to it. She's like, I need my blue pill.
Yeah.
Because she was getting like really intense orgasms from it.
Golly, I
watched it every once in a while. I didn't watch it at the time.
I've watched every single episode ever of Sex and
I
the
love
City.
it.
Really?
It's good.
I got strep throat one time in college, and I just started from episode 1, and I watched it. I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting, and then I binge watched it for like 3 days.
The one that I
feel-
watched was funny.
Yeah, I feel like it would be actually pretty insightful for men to watch that are single.
Yes, I was single at the time.
Did it help you
I got married the next day.
with your strep throat?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he did.
She must really love you.
She didn't need my throat.
Oh.
That came out wrong.
Weird.
Yeah, it's okay.
She just needed my. She needed
This
my.
is a judgment-free
You
zone.
were the throat goat in college.
The throat goat?
God.
That's was his nickname.
No, that's not true.
I have never heard that before.
That is not
You never
true.
heard that?
No.
No, you don't pry into that. This is a
It's a family podcast.
This is a family podcast.
Oh, sorry.
It's not at all.
Well, thank God for editing.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not editing anything.
Oh, boy.
We were recording when you first sat down anyway, so we have all that too. No
Well,
joke.
No, we didn't.
I have no shame in my game.
Me neither. That's
Well,
what gets me in trouble.
Stacy, this has been a blast.
Yes, it
For
has.
show.
Thanks for accompanying us, two idiots.
Yeah, I loved it, and I can't wait for our Pilates class.
I can't wait.
Okay, I will talk to them.
Yeah.
Let's think about a Pilates charity event.
Okay.
We have to wear clothes.
No.
Hell yeah.
But you have to pay extra if that's your outfit.
Pay extra to not wear clothes.
If you're coming with no clothes, yes, I'm going to charge you more.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
No, we're thinking somewhere
We'll
from-
bring Magnus to come film. We'll make some YouTube out
It'd
of
be
it.
really
Not
fun.
if Vaughn's naked. So.
Huh?
We've got a
Well,
studio. It's got 15
It's a
machines.
small blur. Oh, carrot boy.
Yeah, don't take the blue
Oh,
chew
no.
before
Baby
me,
carrots.
please.
Oh, God.
Yeah. You know. Don't even.
Don't even.
Don't even.
All right. Well, this has been fun.
Peace, love, and cupcakes.
That's exactly. I got a shirt that says that.
Do you?
See ya.
All right. Peace.
Bye.
And they go, go, go. So hope you're ready for the show. Strap in.